the value in networking.
I like in-person dealing more now with the shows.
There was a lot of foul activity going on, and no one's talking about it.
I feel like I see less patience in the hobby today. And I want to get your thoughts on that. When you hear of the large dollar amounts now around PMGs, what do you think?
What it takes for someone to spend that much money on any card.
Fanatics did something tonight I had never heard about. They have a lottery.
We got you on the line.
Oh my goodness, we're both on the line.
Yes,
I don't think that the fact that they did Be Friends and Jackass is going to have any impact on how they treat sports cards.
So I asked you, FD, since we're rolling with FD.
Let's roll, man. What's up? You got to let the people know who you're rolling with, man.
Well, obviously I'm rolling with FD.
What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, August 23rd, and it does not stop. Today we have TJ from Go Label Sports. We're going to bring him in. What's up, bro?
How are you? Good to be back.
What's going on?
Week.
Another week.
Just another week. Big news in the hobby, sports. I'm ready to get into it. I'm excited. Appreciate you having me on as always.
Oh, yeah. You're always welcome here, man. So I want to kick this off by talking about Kobe Bryant.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, today is Kobe Bryant's birthday. August 23rd, 1978. I'm just a few years older than Kobe Bryant. And it's always good to celebrate, you know, someone who contributed to a lot to their craft and what they've done. I always look at Kobe Bryant's life as a person that worked hard and was probably just about to start seeing the real fruits of his labor, his blood, sweat, and tears, spending time with his family, spending more time with his children. We all know that was cut a lot short by what happened, but I just wanted to celebrate his birthday. My son and I, right before this, Junior and I just ran outside and recorded a little something to give him some homage on his birthday. So I'll tell you this, TJ. When Kobe passed, I watched a lot of Kobe Bryant highlights, man. Just remembering the old days. I'm talking about back when Shaq was there, when Shaq first left. To me, that was like the Kobe Bryant that I remember, you know. And Junior would come in the room and sit down with me. He hadn't really watched too much basketball. And he would sit and watch the highlights with me. And then he began to learn about who Kobe Bryant was.
Mm-hmm. That's special. Yeah, it's a sad day for the basketball community for sure. I mean, I look at his cards every single day as we talk about. He's I think one of the premier players in the card market, but also I think he's probably the second best player ever besides Jordan, in my opinion, in terms of that tenacity, that just ruthless aggression. You don't see it much in basketball anymore. Like we talked about before, it's kind of like more business and buddy stuff. So it was good to just be reminded of all the greatness that he had and what he contributed to the NBA, and then also philanthropy, entrepreneurship, and all that stuff too. So,
and then going outside of his box, winning the Oscar for something that he wrote and created about his own life, he was doing different stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very talented.
Very talented. Kobe Bean Bryant, people. It's nothing like him. And, you know, I talk a lot about Jordan, but I give a lot of respect to Kobe Bryant. Like you said, he was the kind of player that would try to snatch your heart out anywhere on the court and win the game. And I just love seeing stuff like that. I love someone who will face adversity head on and try to, even with less talent around him, he was still trying to do his thing against Phoenix and other teams. So,
yep, absolutely.
So we got sports card show Ziggy in the house. What's up, Ziggy?
What's up?
I gotta get to know Ziggy more.
I like him. He's on my videos a lot now because of you. I appreciate him. He's got a very fresh perspective, which I enjoy talking to him. So
yes, he does. Anyone that speaks their mind, I like that. Good evening, Ziggy. Something sports card says, "What's up, Ziggy?" He's getting love here. Let me see. Is there anything else you want to jump into just off top? I'm trying to remember what I put down.
I think it was Kobe was that first thing that was on my mind. Biggest stuff for me is Kevin Durant. I saw all that news. That was pretty big today and yesterday-ish. But We can start with that if you want.
Well, Pat Bev called out Kevin for basically holding up free agency. Everybody's waiting on to see what he's going to do, what Kevin Durant is going to do. And Pat Bev was saying, hey, man, everybody out here has families, got things they got to move on with. Where are we moving to if we're getting traded? Where are our kids going to be in school? It's August 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Pat Bev is saying.
Yeah.
And I got to agree with it.
I know. When I saw that, I actually agreed too, because at the end of the day, I just relate a lot just from athletics. And I mean, when you have decisions like this and big players are holding up money, business, like franchisees, all this stuff, it really comes down to it. Like you do have to stop being a little selfish. I think it was all a hype train. It was all a hype train. And the Nets too, Kevin Durant's going back there. They have a team that on paper is a championship team. Don't get me wrong. But I just can't see it happening now that the owner hates him and the coach, he doesn't believe in Nash and, all this stuff too. So I don't think it was a good move. I would have bounced. He probably just stayed because of the Golden State thing and people he didn't want around too of that.
Well, you got to think, if you just think about it, like I'm sitting where I'm sitting and I'm thinking about stuff. So Kevin Durant goes to a team. Key players on that team have to leave the team.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be in a situation that's worse than where he is right now from a talent perspective.
Yeah,
and I just go back to, was this whole thing like emotional? I'm upset. I want to leave.
I mean, it was with Golden State too. I mean, you heard all the stuff with Draymond that came out. Him and Draymond had more than just one fight, and when it came out too, I wasn't shocked because who does everyone think Draymond's going to side with? Do you think he's going to keep Curry or Durant? He's going to keep Curry, his guy. So, I think it's sort of the same situation. Ben Simmons is supposedly going to play a full season for the first time in a few years. I don't think, and he's supposedly going to be able to shoot this year. Now, if he can shoot, it's a different conversation.
But TJ, has he ever been able to shoot?
I don't think he will. He's afraid. In practice, he shoots threes, makes everything, does his thing. But that's practice. So
I'll say when I played a totally different sport, but there were guys who would perform very well in practice,
and
then get to a game, and I don't know what would happen. We had I don't know if you'll ever see this, but we had a guy on the team squatting 800 pounds. Getting a game, you didn't know he was squatting 400 pounds.
Doesn't translate.
Doesn't translate, man. And sometimes it's like that. It always used to blow my mind, but sometimes it's like that. I think when you look around, though, and what's the average crowd at an NBA game? 29,000?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you look around, you see 30,000 people, and they're either saying positive stuff in your favor or most likely saying some negative stuff about what you just did or are about to do. It probably messes with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think, too, when he gets back in that atmosphere – when he comes back in that first game, it says Ben Simmons is in the starting lineup, that whole stadium's going to be packed. And it's going to be probably like a Marvel movie with that villain hero kind of thing. I think some people are going to be happy, but a lot of people are going to be like, dude, you're a loser making us wait this long. But hopefully he can have a great performance, turn some kind of non-believers into some fans, because I think that'd be really good for their fan base.
You know what? I'm surprised that we're not hearing Ben Simmons car talk.
I think he ruined it for himself. He will have no hype around him, but see what's going to happen. I can see it now, right? He's going to have a string of games where he's back to his old self, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 games where he's having these great games, and everyone's going to jump on him again, and then they're going to dump him when he has a bad game. It's usually how it works, Well,
I always chalk up, like, I feel like the last season that Ben Simmons was in college, I never heard about him until we got to the draft.
Yeah, I watched a couple
at LSU. I don't remember anything about him at LSU.
Yeah, he was a 2020 guy. I mean, he was hurt a little bit. I know that, but when he was in, he was killing people, killing them.
Interesting. Did he shoot a jump shot back then?
Yep. Not a three, just a jump shot, and he was a dominator in the paint. He was like one. Yeah, he was like one of the first of like that era of, I can bring the ball up down the court. I'm 6'11", whatever. I can bring the ball up and down the court. I can still post up. Just like Kyle Anderson of UCLA. I don't remember him back in the day. But that's kind of the who started it all. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully it is a good year. I like watching him because I feel like he does change the game a lot just from his athletic build and skill set. But mental game, man, that's the most important thing. You can be as best as they are physically. The mental game could kill you.
So that was a Mac Jones card that sold last night. Let me try to find the exact number here. Because I was tracking this card with like 40 minutes left. Let's see here. Autograph Prism. Here it is, right? Here. No, that's still live.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I was watching it too just for fun.
Yeah. Out of 10, let me see. Maybe I was way off. Let me see what it sold for. Oh, I was way off. So this car sold for $3,650.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. But I mean, still though, I think
hold up. This is a black gold Prism 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
So why did that car sell for $3,650? It's not graded, but we've seen some Trevor Lawrence stuff sell for $6.
Hey, I got hate from your last video because of me saying about Trevor Lawrence. All right, so I'm going to say the same thing again. All right, Mac Jones will be better than Trevor Lawrence in 5 years' time.
I believe that. Well, I'm pretty sure the people that were hating probably have invested in Trevor Lawrence.
Oh yeah, and like I was on before, I wish I had the card come in, but I got the 2021 Obsidian patch Mac Jones orange. I think the 55. I got it for $100. Think about this, $100. And this card, if let's say we go off market standards like Trevor Lawrence, raw should be worth about $500 without an auto on it because Obsidian is so rare and valuable, and gem min rate is very high. Mm-hmm. I wish I had it. I wish I had it to show you, but I believe too that his market is going to skyrocket. Mac Jones, it's going to go up like crazy this year. I think Patriots have a really good chance at least going 12-4. If he gets hot and goes on a streak.
This is interesting how this stuff goes. People are talking about Tua. People are talking about Trevor Lawrence. But Mac Jones is like, People have even talked about Mitch Trubisky than Mac Jones is.
All right. Come on, FD. Come on. I can't even put them in the same category. I would rather take Mac Jones over Mitch Trubisky right now. Just because, too, I mean, he did get the nod. I saw today Mike Tomlin said that he's going to be starting, by the way. So all the Kenny Pickett people.
It doesn't shock me. Did you watch the other quarterback play? What's his name? Pritchard, right?
Yeah, something like that from Pittsburgh. And everyone thinks he's going to be amazing, and everyone's dumping money into him, and he's a second stringer now. So,
he looks very tentative. He looks very like he's just trying to understand what is going on right now.
Yeah, Pickett or something like that.
Yeah, Pickett is his name. Yeah, he looked very tentative in the plays that I saw. So I'm not surprised Mr. Trubisky is starting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
he started most of the year.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he had a couple games where he looked real good, but then same thing with the mental game. He crumbled under the pressure. He was with the Bears.
That's what you have with the Bears.
Yeah, and too, I mean, you got to battle Aaron Rodgers two to four times a year if we're talking about playoffs and championship games and such. I mean, you're going to be in through a whirlwind, and so yeah, he's never thrown a pick six.
Look at Rick Lau with this trivia. Trubisky has never thrown a pick six. But how many picks has he thrown?
A lot.
Are you gonna have me dig into some Trubisky stats?
Go ahead.
Let me dig into this here. Hey, Rick Lau, are you a big supporter of Mitch? Interesting.
I know some people. Who have about $100,000 invested into Trubisky. They think he's going to have a turn in his career this year. Now that he doesn't really have any competition on the back end, but I think he does with Kenny. But Mike Tomlin said today in an interview, we're going off of resume and experience only, and we're going to keep it that way. So I don't even know if Pickett may even play this year.
Oh, that's a coach trying to keep the morale up of his young draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that statement was.
So we'll see.
Rick, he got a raw deal in Chicago. Rick, now I watched a lot of Bear football. The only raw deal he got was after playing 13 games, he got drafted number 3 in the draft. That's the only raw deal he got. And he didn't have a problem picking up that number 3 pick money.
Oh, yeah.
You look at Mahomes in that draft, you look at Watson in that draft, I don't think Trubisky got a raw deal.
Yeah, I don't think you got a raw deal. It just comes down to performance, and that's what I think. I really hope Justin Fields understands the pressure he's under, because everyone's saying he's going to revive the franchise. He's going to bring them back to where they were in the 80s. This is that. I was like, guys, we got it. These guys are in their second year. Like, that's a lot of pressure for a pretty prestigious franchise like Chicago.
Steve Smith played wide receiver. I think very highly of him with Carolina. I mean, I love me some Steve Smith. And Steve Smith always keeps it real. So he's working for the NFL Network. And the other day, they were in Dolphins camp. And everybody was talking about Tua. And people were saying how he's going to change this and going to change that and do this. And Steve Smith said, no. This is a guy who got drafted to play quarterback. So he's going to play quarterback. He doesn't draft people. He doesn't bring people to the team. He doesn't assess talent. He's not the GM. He is the quarterback. And that's the same thing like what you just said, I would say, for Fields. Fields is there to really not run for his life and be able to set up and throw a pass. And the Bears need to put something around him to allow for that to happen. So, these young quarterbacks are not there to – I don't know what people are thinking. They're not there to change the franchise around. You got to think, Miami hasn't done anything since when? Since they went to the Super Bowl, was it 49ers? And then before that, 1972, when they went undefeated. What other franchise? When was the last time the Jets did something? So
with what's his name, Mark Sanchez, back in 2012?
Yeah. And then before that, it was a long time before that.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Ken O'Brien way back in the day. So these quarterbacks do not show up to clean the baseboards, I always say. They're just there to play their position and then try to get something started and make sure they're not doing something to lose the game. Something Sports Card says, coaches make a difference. Thomas legit. Yeah, he handled that well because he didn't want to crush the spirits of his young quarterback. So he talked about experience and resume. And
which I think is a great plan. It's a great plan.
Yeah. What I don't understand is in Carolina, has the coach there said who's the starter?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, I knew it. I was looking up RPAs last night. I love Baker Mayfield. You can have it on the record here. I am actually a Baker fan, believe it or not. I love his attitude. I love his abilities. I think, and he was hurt last year, and he's fully healed. I think he's gonna shock some people this year, big time.
I'm loving Rick Lyle right now. Rick Lyle holding Bart Scott.
Is Rick an everyday viewer, FD?
Rick is on a lot.
Yeah. Oh, awesome!
I really haven't heard these strong statements from Rick. I'm learning some things right now. Can't wait, huh? Okay. Let's talk about. He says Baker couldn't outrun the cops in college.
You're right. You're right, though. But
no, I mean he didn't have. Did you see that video?
Yeah. I think he's gonna do really well this year. I'm happy to. But he's right. I'm in Carolina. I live only 25, 30 minutes from the stadium. And they're moved. Okay. Yeah, they were gonna move it over to Fort Mill, South Carolina, and I heard that got shut down. Bank of America Stadium. So I'm gonna try and catch the game this year too, for sure.
How far would that South Carolina site be away from where it is right now?
Fort Mill, even from me, so about 30 minutes, 45 minutes from the old thing. Something happened where they stopped construction, planning and everything.
Interesting. I went to Carolina. I went to Charlotte 2003.
Yeah, I think you need to get back up here and visit me.
Yeah, bro. That stadium built. Who's your Hall of Fame linebacker that went in? He's already passed though. I saw him in person. That was a cool trip. I mean, that whole area to me. And at one point I was thinking about moving to Charlotte after that trip.
Hey.
That's a nice area, man.
Yeah, it's up and coming. They're building up a lot around here too. It's getting a little overpopulated, but that's just
Because
the
when I
name of the
was
game.
there,
Real estate.
they were building a lot on to UNC Charlotte. The
Now
campus,
it's everywhere.
yeah, I can see that. The campus was changing back in the day. Let's see here. Rick Lyle, I'm loving it, man. Keep bringing that heat. I'm loving that. So when I look at the NBA and I think about who's next, who do you see? Like we always talk about, we're talking about Kobe tonight. Steph played against Kobe at some point here. I would say, what, 5 or 6 years? Steph was probably gone. Steph was 33, 34. KD won't be around forever. LeBron probably has a few more seasons. Who's next, though?
Yeah. I think, too, it comes down to one, you have to see who's that middle end star right now. I think Luka Doncic is absolutely going to be up there. Hot take for the viewers, I think Zion will be absolutely up there this year. I think he's actually going to stay healthy. I saw a picture of him. He actually leaned out quite a bit. He's lost like 15 pounds. So
that's good news.
I think I love Zion, freak of nature. So I think Zion is going to do really, really well. John Morant, absolutely. And I think Trae Young as well. So these people that everyone was investing their rookie cards and their higher population cards, I think these ultra modern, people are going to be definitely up there. But I think the people that are going to surprise a lot of people, I think James Wiseman is going to surprise a lot of people. Jordan Poole, I think he's going to continue his hot streak as well. I really can't. I think the NBA is going to change a lot when all these, Hall of Famers are gone. I mean, you really don't have anyone. The next new wave and era is those 5 people that I listed. That's all that can come up to the top of my head. I think Tyler Hero is also going to be the next Steph Curry. That's a hot take, probably.
We need him to be healthy, and we need him to play consistent.
Yep, I think Jason Tatum. I'm still not sold on him because he's a horrible shooter. Jaylen Brown, he's very athletic, but he really doesn't have anything that shines to me. So just like Rick says, like if Tatum got that instinct like Kobe, he was trying to put that wristband on during the finals and to the playoffs like Kobe, I didn't see one sense of killer instinct in him.
I'm gonna tell you about me. If I'm a player against him, I'm just gonna tell you, as soon as he put that wristband on, I know that dude had no dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. He just told me something about himself.
Yep.
He's looking for something extra to help him out. And you notice that after that game, that wristband never came back.
Yeah.
But Tatum to me just doesn't like. I bought some Tatum. I have some Tatum cards. I need him to develop a instinct that I'm going to go after this. Even if I don't get it, I want something, I'm going after it. Instead of to me, Tatum and Brown have a little bit of, you can take the game away from them if you desire to. They won't fight through adversity to the nth degree to try to go get something that they want. And everybody out here knows that when you go to the playoffs and you go to the finals, that's what it is. It's a fight to see who wants what.
Yep.
Because it's never handed to you.
Never. That's why I was so upset when the Heat lost, to the Celtics. I'm a pretty diehard Heat fan from the beginning, back in like 2003. But I think Jimmy Butler is going to be one of the guys that leads this next charge of superstars. I saw him. He went from scrub to, a star. From shooting, to just that dog leadership. Everything's developing in the right time. I honestly might pick up an RPA or something of Jimmy, because I think this year the Heat will be back in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think they're definitely gonna shock the world. Bam Adebayo as well. I think he's gonna play really, really well this year, and hopefully he's not a baby, because he was a wussy in that series against Celtics, and he could have 20-20 every game.
Curled up. Yeah, I don't know what that was. He was kind of curling up on some stuff that you would think he would be aggressive on. He's even shown aggressiveness before. Aiden showed in that series. I don't know what it's about. To me, Miami needs 1 or 2 more scores.
Yep.
To really be a contending team, because Butler is going to bring some things, but it can't just be all on Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. Hopefully, and I think they'll be the new Splash Brothers if they can stay healthy too. Too many injuries last year.
Duncan Robinson, he's the guy though to come out and score 33, and the next game have 5 points.
Well, yeah, and Eric Spoelstra is an amazing coach, but I think too he should have been in the game instead of that Nick Strus guy. I think that would have absolutely changed it for us in the playoffs. But I think too, it's a new season, right? Anything can happen, but I think Duncan and Tyler here are really going to turn the corner for the Heat and provide that lift that they need. And their cards in the market are going to show for it.
Yeah, because people are ready to support Tyler Hero.
Oh, yeah.
His rookie year, his cards in the bubble were going up.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. I think Duncan is probably the weaker link with those two to try to come down. But he just signed a big deal.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to live up to that deal, or else he'll get traded or released or something, and it just looks bad. Looks bad.
It's funny how that works.
Mm-hmm. People get that money, they stop working hard.
That is a thing about sports, isn't it? I never forget Horace Grant brother, Harvey Grant, who is now the father of the Grant that was with Oklahoma. I can't remember his first name. Harvey Grant was like balling out. Was with the Washington Wizards at the time. Signed a big deal. You never heard from the guy again. It's just interesting to me how that happens in boxing back in the day. Guy become champ, then he can't stay in shape. How it happens in basketball, football. It's just very interesting how the motivation of things, you're hungry, how hungry you are, just falls off the board. Or you have guys who they get driven even more.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got the Kobe Bryants of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world. Mike was still always underpaid, but he wanted to destroy anyone that walked on the court. It's just interesting how players go like that. And you can look at a guy. So for everybody out there, you watching college football, you go pro, that's a totally different game. They put on a helmet and they have shoulder pads and they run around, but it's a completely different game. So if you're looking at a guy and you're saying, well, why did he transition well? Because the speed of the game and everything is completely different. The coverages that they're running. In modern day football, a lot of the stuff they run is very watered down. And that was the biggest knock against Cam Newton when he became a pro. Is being able to read defenses. He didn't have to do that in college, really. And his play scheme, what he could do, what he needed to do to be successful at Auburn was completely different than what he needed to do at Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And Cam, I think he still had a pretty good NFL career, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so. What hurt him was a shoulder injury.
Yep.
That
wasn't ever the same.
I don't know what, you got to admire his hustle, but why is he chasing a guy down who just intercepted the ball and trying to tackle him? So when we play, right, maybe it's different now. That's the running back, wide receiver's responsibility. It's not the quarterback. Yep. Quarterback shouldn't be chasing anybody down and trying to tackle anybody. Most of them don't know how to do that, and most of them will hurt themselves.
Oh, yeah.
No knock on whoever's played quarterback out there, but you shouldn't be tackling people. You got wrist, elbow, shoulder, ribs. Everything is happening when you're trying to tackle somebody. Rick says what hurt Cam was not diving on the fumble in the Super Bowl. What bothered him in the Super Bowl was a person named Von Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Von Miller destroyed Cam Newton in the Super Bowl. And whenever you snap the ball, and if you watch, you'll start seeing Cam looking for this guy. Doesn't work like that in the Super Bowl, man. And Von was coming with it. Now, I tell people all the time, that game to me put Von Miller in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Legit.
And he just won another one. He just won another one, didn't he, with the Rams?
Yeah, he just put the polish on everything. He's all
yeah.
I don't really care what he does with Buffalo. He can go out and just have fun right now because he's a Hall of Fame. So I went to Collecticon on Sunday here in Long Beach. It was it was cool to me. I enjoyed it. It was filled with Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, graded video games.
Talking my language. I love it.
Yeah, some graded, even VHS.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a new space. I mean, for the people on here, I mean, I am sports card first, but I mean, people that know me close on my team and the people that I, mentor and stuff like that, like at one time I had a $25,000 graded Charizard collection. Every Charizard, minimum a PSA 8 or above from every set. And I recently just sold it and broke it off because obviously I told you I'm doing some new ventures and stuff like that inside of my company. So, I mean, I'm telling y'all, you don't got to tell anybody because you may think it's dorky, but I will argue that there's more money in Pokemon than there are in sports cards right now. To be made.
So we were walking around and we came up with that same synopsis.
Yeah. It's insane.
If you're talking about the number of people, first we start with demand. The number of people who are interested. If you back it up and just look at YouTube content and subscribers.
Yep.
What the biggest YouTuber may have 160,000 subscribers. That's nothing in the Pokemon world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guys you got to have like at least 300,000 plus to really make a splash because there's so many creators that are around that 30,000 subscriber mark to 100,000 subscriber mark. And the way the YouTube algorithm works is if there's that many people with that amount of subscribers, you're fighting for view after view after view. It ain't flooding to you like if you're a million million subscribers.
That's true.
Same thing with sports cards, and that's what I was talking about with B&U. We're trying to get over that hump into that 5,000-ish subscriber range because that's when we open up the whole new door to meeting, new audiences and people.
Sure.
So, but I'm glad you got to experience that, man. People hate me on Gold Label when I bring up Charizard cards, and I even have like Japanese booster box right here for Pokemon cards. Like, would break boxes, show people like other stuff that they can really dive into, and it didn't get the same response as sports cards. But people are missing out on the opportunity.
Even when I talk about comics, I got a comment like 2 weeks ago. Please stop talking about comics. And I wrote back and said, going forward, you will see content about comics, strategies on buying comics, and more and more and more as we go forward. So just prep yourself.
Yeah, it's because at the end of the day, people want, we talked about this last time, right? People want the entertainment factor, and I get that. I understand. But business and strategy around cards and all that stuff is so entertaining to me because you're providing a solution to a problem that every middle end collector has. I mean, people don't know how to make money selling and buying sports cards anymore because the market is not where it used to be. So now you have guys like me and you, our videos are showing people how to do so. And they're like, oh no, it's too hard. I can't do it. Oh no. Oh, okay. I'll go shoot off $300 instead of investing $300 into learning how to be better at social media to a breaker who doesn't even care about me.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I think people fail to realize that before 2019 and 2020, I don't know. I ask people sometimes, do you know what was going on in the hobby? Like
no.
You were buying a card on Monday and selling it on Friday for 2 or 3x. It wasn't happening.
Yep.
And then some people ask me, well, why do you hold stuff so long?
Because you have to. That's the name of the game.
That's the hobby. But nobody asked that question about the $30 million 1952 tops. That's a PSA 10. Nobody says, why is he still holding that card? You never get that question.
Nope, never.
I always find it interesting, though.
And then you are always on the same page. We're always on the same page, FD.
And then the question of what's a long time to hold? Like I've had conversations with people like 6 months. I don't hold anything past 6 months. I'm like, okay, I can get that if that's what your strategy is. But have you ever thought about holding something longer than that?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose money if you do it any sooner. So now this is for you. All right. Now I'm gonna give a good example here of exactly what we're talking about. So your boy Steph Curry, I just got the maroon.
It's funny. I wish I could pull it out here. I had that same card.
I'm testing something, right? So I went on the record last time and I said 2013 to 2017 Prism is the prime Prism era. It's the prime select era. This card, SGC, is pop 2. It's up to 175 Maroon Prism, SGC 10, right? So I'm going to hold this until the trade deadline. I got this for $110. $110 for this card.
A very reasonable card, yes.
But you see what I mean? It's worth way more.
Worth way.
Yeah. And, when the trade deadline comes, right, I'm going to hold it out. And, okay, Warriors are doing awesome, right? All right, I'm going to put up for $220. I'll accept an offer at $200. I'll make about $80-90, right? People don't want to do that they want the quick stuff. But I knew you'd appreciate this guy because
brother.
I got some crazy cards coming in already that I have watching on eBay for him too that are like SGC 10s are like $170. I just can't. The opportunity is there. It's just it's so there.
But if you told a person, give me $25, I'll give you 50 back right now. Most people would say, "Oh yeah, I'll go for that."
Yeah.
Right. But in the card world, it's like, no, that's not really what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and you can do it still. Don't get me wrong. You can still do it on the cards, right? So if you're kind of like jacking around with like really, really risky prospects and stuff like that, it's not gonna really happen that much. But like if you're going to bargain bins at card shows, if you're going to the dollar, buckets at your local card shop, right? There is so many great deals in those buckets. Curry, Kobe, LeBron, Michael Jordan, anywhere from $1 to $5 cards that you can put on eBay and put up for $20, and people are going to buy it. And you do that 4, 5, 6, 7 times, you're at $100, right? It's about a 50-ish%, making your money back ROI, right? I'll do a little business lesson right now here, FD.
Go break it down, brother.
And it's just that's what you have to really break it down. Like you said, the numbers don't lie, but people don't want to do the nitty gritty work, right? They see these breakers, they see these people, these other influencers that are huge in the hobby that are just like spewing out the money with no entertainment value. But then when you get to the creators that actually are giving you value to actually implement inside your brand portfolio, and if you're lucky enough and grateful enough to start a business around it, I mean, and you're not paying attention to those guys, your priorities are messed up.
I remember when I came out, we were at a show, and then I started talking to some people, and it made me think, like, maybe I should talk about this in a video. I started talking about my strategy of how I buy, which most people don't even talk about. Like, I don't put anything on a credit card. I don't create more debt by buying something. I pay for everything that I pay for on a budget, and I actually pay for it. And then I have what's that?
I love it.
Yeah, I have a system of what am I buying, and when I make the buying decision, it's for a duration of time. Like I'm not buying some. I think it's harder for me on people that I watch a lot of stuff, a lot of sports. So then I can try to, if I'm going to prospect, I'm going to prospect of what I just saw someone do. If I hear a guy had 20 points in a game, I'm going to watch and find out how did he score his 20 points. Was it like DeAndre Jordan? Was he looking for Chris Paul to give him an alley-oop? Or did he actually expose the defense that was on him, make a move? What is his footwork looking like if he's a big man? Does he have an outside shot? Does he have a mid-range? Can he turn out of the post and give me something? Again, now, as a big man, you got to be able to shoot the three in the league. So can you shoot the three? And at what clip do you shoot it? What are you shooting like with a hand in your face? Or is this stuff that you're shooting with no hand in your face? These are the things. Well, then I love a player. That's why I really love Klay Thompson. I love a player then who can go back and play some defense, or who may lock down the best player on the team, on the opposing team, for several minutes of a game, or who may try to lock down the second best player on that team and still give me, if you can give me 17, 16 like Klay on the night, and you go take 6 baskets out of this guy or 3 out of this guy's scorecard, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And you don't see a lot of players doing that today. And Klay even said something about it in the playoffs where he said, show me a player who plays on both ends.
There's really no one anymore. Even LeBron, it doesn't anymore.
No, he takes that defensive side off, so he can shine on the offensive side.
Yeah,
It's hard.
and Clay is just. I think he's not a top 5 defender in my opinion now because he got hurt, but I think this year he reclaims that spot.
I think so too. I think Neil's going to be stronger. He's been working. I think you're going to see him doing more. But even last year, coming back, he played good defense on Luka at times. Man, almost every series, he picked up someone and made a difference. He played some good defense on Ja at the end of several games to win the game. Make sure Ja didn't get that shot off. Or didn't get it off with a hand in his face. And that's really all you can do against great players. Ja is a great player. So now what do you think about Ja Morant? Let's dig into a little Ja Morant here. So let me tell you what I'm thinking, right?
Yep.
If Ja doesn't give us or give himself a consistent mid-range jump shot, Ja's probably going to find himself hurt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the athleticism is out of this world. I mean, for a point guard to be that explosive, I haven't seen that in a long time. Derrick Rose, we're talking. But yeah, you're right. I think the mid-range is going to come this year. I think he's going to shoot a lot more threes too and mid-range jump shots this year. But like you said, if not, he's going to definitely be hurt a lot.
That's what I'm thinking. I talked to some people and I'm like, no, I don't see that. I'm like, find me a small guard. This will always ask the question, TJ. Find me a small guard in the NBA that has lasted a long time, over 10 years. The only person I can think of is Allen Iverson. I mean, that scored at a high level, led his team. You know, Muggsy Bogues was around for a long time.
Yep.
And Allen Iverson had years where he did not shoot well from the field. Probably took good possessions out of Iguodala's hands. People forget Iguodala was playing with him. Carmelo Anthony played with him. There are a lot of different players that play with Allen Iverson. I think people are looking for Ja to probably be more of Derrick Rose in his prime than Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I think he has more of a chance to be Derrick Rose in his prime than Allen. I think Allen Iverson is just irreplaceable. And two, Allen Iverson took one of the worst teams in NBA history to the finals. And I think that shows. I think that team was even worse than LeBron's Cavaliers when they went against Golden State.
Hey, all I gotta say is when you're running with Eric Snow, you better be putting in some work to get to the finals.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Brendan says, gold prospectors philosophy. The Nuggets build wealth, but the Smalls flower gold keep things rolling.
You're right.
That is true. It's not popular though.
No, people don't want to do people want to do what's popular too, and they're going to find themselves in a lot of turmoil once these guys don't pan out.
You know, I'm gonna go to Burbank this weekend, and I'm gonna spend some quality time in some dollar bins.
Oh, dude, do it, dude.
I'm gonna do the
Dude, follow what I'm doing right now. My thing this year, this whole rest of the year, like I'm literally I'm dedicating a series to my Instagram, my TikTok, shorts on YouTube, just literally going and buying up stacks of the cards that I want raw in higher end, middle end, sending them off to grade and then getting the grades back. And I'm going to show how much I spent, how much I profited, and kind of those numbers too. So you want to join my little trend?
I'll join that because that falls in line. I want to do more grading, a lot more. Yeah. So that falls right in line with what I'm thinking about doing.
Good.
I'm gonna kick it off with Burbank. While people are looking at other stuff, I'm like, yeah, you know, and I'm just gonna be over here just sitting there, just going through some things.
Yeah, because too, it's like the successful people are doing the things that the other people are not. I mean, that applies every single place. I mean, I took that athletics. Nobody was with me at 11 p.m. in the weight room getting my third workout in for the day. Everyone thinks it goes into the card market, right? No, all these big time people aren't in the dollar bins because it ain't $5 million. My Roth Cards, I saw, you guys all know who Roth Cards is. He's now seeing the potential in the dollar value bins. He had a video out today and he was price scanning. He's like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been doing this longer? And he's like, if you go to his Instagram, it's on there.
I got to check.
And yeah, so like I told you, I've been over the last week or so. I have all the cards I need now. I got 2 more left that are coming in. I just got a Patrick Mahomes Eclipse pitch black patch for Obsidian number to 10. So that's coming in this week. and then my Mac Jones Galaxy, my bronze refractor to 55 patch coming in. Those are the last two I need. Then I can send it in SGC, and then we see what we got. So,
Rick brings up a great point. I remember years ago watching Ryan, car collector too. He has a carry-on bag. He'll walk through a show with it, pull up to a dollar bin, sit on his carry-on bag, and then spend time just in a bin.
Yep.
And then he will buy for his market. So he will go to another market and buy some Ohio State. You know, he's big on Ohio State.
Yep.
He will buy players that came out of Ohio State that went to other teams in the NFL. He will bring that stuff back, mark it up, and sell it.
Yeah, card collector. He's obviously one of the OGs, and like I really actually have been studying his business model. Believe it or not, from eBay to his card shop to Whatnot to just his social media. And once you get all those things rolling in a circle, right? You're consistently, let's say if you're breaking or on Whatnot, whatever, right? You're making that revenue, right? Bringing that in. You're going to card shows. You're getting your supply. You know exactly what your target audience needs. You make sure you have it on eBay. He does $1 million in 90 days. Think about that in sales on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and anyone who's watching, you can do this too. It's pretty insane. He's got a team of people who list about 1,000+ items a day on there too. This is when that compounding factor and like think of it like the stock market, right? You compound your interest, it builds up. It's just like eBay and the cards, right? So you put your cards on, right? All those $5 positives are going up, adding on to each other. Next thing you know, you got 400 sales. And just because he has a big brand, he's very popular. People want to buy from him and experience the customer experience that he has. Next thing you know, you're sitting on 2, 3, 4, 10, 50, 100, 500,000, $1 million because you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And you just repeat it.
And his shop is impressive.
I heard.
Very impressive. Yep. He's going to be at Burbank this weekend.
Yeah, that's great. I actually just bought a ton of cards from Burbank on eBay. Just got them in today. So I will only be buying from him and ComC really on eBay anymore. Too much extra crap with the other people.
Like what kind of extra stuff?
So, dude, I've had so many issues.
What kind of extra stuff?
So eBay, right? So if I just had such bad customer experiences with just sellers and stuff like that. Yeah. So my packages have ended up in the street. They've been high-end cards have been put in eBay envelopes. Like think about that. eBay envelopes with no protection. So now I'm just like, I'm done with this, especially in this new journey, right? If these raw cards are coming in damaged and I'm buying them in pretty great condition, I'm pretty mad about that. So I had that happen with that Josh Allen card I had come in. It was like a numbered to like 20 neon green select, something really good. And I can't even submit it now because it's got a fold flap. It was in the middle. It was in the middle of the street. If you hear my dog bark, I'm sorry about that.
That's all good. I love animals. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got 2 Saint Bernard puppies, but so that's what happened. I just can't do it anymore. But like I said, Rob over at Burbank, awesome. Cards were perfect. Everything was great. And now it's like I know who to go to, and I know who has the best prices. I just rinse and repeat it.
Well, you know, Burbank, they pride themselves on how they ship the time frame and how they ship their cards out. I don't see you ever really having a problem with getting cards that are damaged. One time, I about a year ago, I purchased a printing plate of Drew Brees off eBay. Got in an envelope, and the card was bent in half. Bent in half, man.
Crazy.
I contacted the seller, nothing. Put in a complaint through eBay. Heard back from the person within about a week. Like that person didn't really care about that.
Because eBay does not protect the seller, unfortunately. They only really protect the buyer. And I think that is a huge, huge downfall that if they don't resolve that, they're going to lose a lot of people to Whatnot because Whatnot is incredible.
Another thing I'm thinking about doing, so I purchased a card I'm going to announce doing Burbank, but this was my first purchase through Instagram from someone that I didn't know,
But other people that I do know actually knew who this person was. They spend time with him on the road when they go to shows to the Bay. And like they spoke up for him. I asked them, "Do you know this individual?" It's, "Oh yeah, I know him, and these are the cars that he sells, and he's legitimate." So people told me about his background, what steps he will take in your process, the exact steps he took. So I'm gonna try to now start understanding more about like building a network of people that I can work with, like what you're talking about. You're talking about 2 companies that you can work with. There are also some people that sell like high-end basketball, high-end football, or even middle, that just through the relationship, like we're talking about fees on eBay. And I'm
Money
not
Mike, my boy, Money Mike.
Money Mike, what's up? I have purchased good cars off eBay. So I'm not saying don't ever look at eBay, but I am with what TJ is saying about having a relationship with some people on there, knowing how they operate, what do they do. And then I really hate getting cars through United States Postal Service. Most stuff that you order off eBay is going to come, but I've ordered some big cars that have been delivered to a neighbor or that should have been signed for, and someone just put it in the mailbox.
Yep, when I was collecting Marvel, I bought this PSA 10 Spiderman Masterpiece. It was an alternate art, and it was worth over $2,500. I actually got it for a snag, only for 110. The seller didn't know it was worth that much. He was just trying to offload, and it got delivered to my next door neighbor. He stole it. I confronted the guy, and he didn't. He just acted like he didn't have it, and I had to call the police and everything. It was pretty serious.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I just don't understand that. I
never got a refund.
This wasn't even cars. I remember one time I was living in Detroit. My postal person said they delivered something, and I forgot what it was. Wasn't sports car related or anything, and I never got it. And so I had to get in contact with the Postmaster General. They put in a claim, ran a case down, tracked this individual down, and then I ended up getting the package. I think I forgot how they got it or got a possession of it days later, and the person was still holding on to the claim that they had delivered. I just don't understand this stuff. Like I remember being in Chicago earlier in life, and that would be postal people fired for having like all kind of mail in their house. I guess organization. I've had jobs before. I had a job once where you had to submit your own expense reports. So if your paperwork, if you didn't submit on time and your paperwork got backed up, you were basically done. Like, how can you go through? If you're traveling a lot, how could you go through 3 months of expenses? You're basically done. So I would think that if you're sorting mail and doing things with mail, that it might be the same way.
Oh yeah. These people, they have no accountability, and when you even like bring it up, it's like, oh, we'll do an investigation. I still have 4 refunds I never got from USPS and UPS for cards that we shipped out but also received, and I still haven't even gotten it from them from losing it or misplacing it.
I understand why people don't ship with FedEx, but I wish more people with FedEx. I've never really had a problem with FedEx. Money Mike said I was charged $1,200 in fees for my Star 101 Jordan.
Good.
Yeah, that can happen. Yeah.
I mean, how much did you sell it for?
Yeah,
that's the big question.
That is the question. Too wonderful. Blame the Postmaster General Lovejoy for allowing this at USPS. Yeah, all carriers have issues. Christopher King, I've never had a problem with FedEx.
Nope.
Never had an issue. I can't think of one. I cannot think of one. I've bought a lot of stuff. I was fed up with FedEx. Tell me what happened Too Wonderful with FedEx. I've been shipping and receiving stuff for years through FedEx. If I ship TJ something tomorrow, it get right to his house. And I know exactly when he signed for it. I can get a notification as soon as it was delivered. I just don't know. Don't know what the issue is, but I do have it. I can't have issues. 5 years ago, my parents living in Chicago. They sent some gift cards to my children at Christmas time.
that still have not arrived. Yes.
Yeah, my grandma sends me stuff all the time, and she's always worried that that it's not getting here on time, and I have to check all the time. It's usually a day late or a day early here. So even like with just family personal mail, you got issues.
See, raw cars are us. As FedEx South Dog just costs more. Yeah, it's gonna cost you more.
Yeah.
I wish if you got over a certain dollar amount, people would just ship FedEx to knock it out. But
yeah.
Brendan Ryan, need a trading car or sniffing dog to get my passion. Terrible.
Ain't that the truth?
That's funny how it works. I also like on eBay, there you can find some sellers that will answer messages, get back to you. You can negotiate with them. Some people it's not happening at all. Christopher King, I understand FD, and I never had an issue with my mail carrier. Maybe because he has been my carrier for 15 years. Well, Christopher King, whatever mail carrier you have, if you can multiply that across this nation, we would all be happy. Wasn't Tom Hanks on a FedEx plane? He was. Yeah, that's when he met Wilson, right? Raw cars. These deliveries on cars are so bad that when you do hit a big card on the brakes, the breakers have to bring that car to you in person. I used to hear about this, right? I used to be like, man, what, somebody's picking up a car in person? I can understand why. I can completely understand why, because when I buy a card, I am on the tracking. I am following that thing. I'm telling people here at the house, and people here know, hey, watch out today, something's coming. I'm still tracking. I know about 2:00 mail gets delivered. Is that thing there? From probably 1:35 on, I'm following this situation in case there is an issue. It's too much stress.
Oh, yeah. Way too much. Oof.
Way too much stress. So you talked about some of your recent pickups. I posted a picture the other day of a Kobe card with Kevin Garnett and the third player slipping my mind right now. Portland Trailblazers. It's a Kobe rookie card. And it's a card that at one point that was around $1,800. I saw the card. This is the funny part of I think the situation. Jermaine O'Neal, third player. I saw this card at a show probably now 5 months ago. I thought the price at the time was more than I wanted to pay. I told the dealer, no, I don't think so. I'm walking to Collecticon. I see the same card, same dealer. And I said, weren't you at the Pachanga show? And he's like, yeah. And then so we started talking. Same Kobe card. Now the price is less. So I picked it up. But sometimes you just never know. I guess to anybody out there, the moral of the story is stay in contact with people, or if you see something at someone's table, price may have changed, person still has the card, the deal may be able to work later.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Money Mike says, TJ, was it your dream card if you had no budget?
What's my dream card? I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would have to say it would probably be an on-card auto Michael Jordan card. I don't care which one. He's got RPA, he's got patches, he's got all this stuff. But I think it would absolutely be probably a Fleer Jordan signed, or if it had any game worn materials. Speaking of game worn materials, Kobe, LeBron, Oscar Robertson, players like that, they have triple patch cards in 2006, 2007 SP, which was a crazy set back in the day. It's got Jordan, it's got all this stuff. So I love those cards. But I'd probably have to take a Jordan on-card auto on the Fleer rookie as my go-to number one. That'd probably be $1 million card, PSA 10.
That would be $1 million card. So we walked into the Pachanga show at the same show that I saw the gentleman up the Kobe card, and that was a
a person walking the show that had an 86 Fleer signed by Mike. I forgot the beat. It was a BGS 6 or 7, I think with an 8 or 9 auto, if I remember correctly.
That's a tough card.
And I stopped in my tracks and was like, I'm holding $1 million card, and the guy started laughing.
But he wasn't joking, I'm sure, because it probably is.
No, yeah, I mean that was $1 million card, man. That's why we've seen sales and stuff since then. It's a rare card. I think he said it was a little over 100, maybe 100. I think 100 known to man. Because back then, signing a car, having an athlete sign a car was, people thought it depreciated the value of the car. It was a different world for grading. If you took a card of Tony Gwynn and you had Tony Gwynn sign it, was a lot of people that didn't want that card.
Now a lot of people want that card.
Now you get that thing slabbed, get it authenticated, get some numbers that's telling you probably what the card is or the grade is. Like I recently took a Joe Montana rookie card to the slab doc.
Yep, I watched it.
Oh yeah, thank you. He came back and said the bottom, you could see the bottom had like some ridges in it, and you could see something on the right side. I'm probably gonna get Joe Montana to sign that card now. I came close probably 7-8 months ago of having Joe Montana sign the card, but I'm definitely gonna do that now. I think it'd be cool.
And it'll make up for the damage and make it worth a PSA 10 value.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yep. That's my thought. So that's going to come back to the channel at some point when that actually happens.
I think you should definitely do more vlog stuff, man. I mean, those videos on your channel do really, really well. I enjoy them a lot. So I think you should absolutely do more day in the life vlog stuff at these shows.
We discovered that too, because we were sitting around and we were thinking about some things we wanted to do. And then we said, maybe we'll consider it like a day in the life. And I'm with you. People
love it now.
Yeah, it seems to resonate with people. Instead of naming it something else or editing the show in another way, it's like the day in the life. And I think it's because you're not. I know me. You're not like tricking a person. You let a person know that I'm going to walk you through what I'm doing and walk you through some strategies or some of things I'm thinking about up front. This is what we're doing today. Instead of I'm about to buy a $20,000 car, and then I end up buying a $20,000 car.
Yeah, I got to do more. I did a bunch of those back when they weren't popular as much on YouTube, and I'm definitely going to start doing more like just local card shop tours and day in the life stuff, because people are asking me about it. But I've been watching yours, and I was like, man, he's crushing it with those. Definitely should do some more. So keep it up.
Thank you very much. Will do. Roll cars are us. I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet, but what's your guys' opinion on this authentic fake? This is probably gonna come up. 96 Fleer basketball today, Open International. I think you're talking about the 86 with the gum, right?
Yeah.
And then also there was some talk about vintage sports cards with the break and some a pack not kind of being removed from what was being opened.
Oh yeah, just saw that today.
Oh, the first thing went through Baseball Card Exchange. My thoughts on that. I think in our ecosystem of sports cards, I think I talked on this before, we have to have some way to authenticate unopened boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I had Nerdy Girl Comics on yesterday. We were talking about they're grading video games and other things on if they're open or not, or what's the quality of the manual in there, if things are authentic. I think sports cards, there has to be a way. And if there needs to be, as we have different graders in the marketplace, there needs to be different unopened box authenticators in the marketplace. Maybe more technology is used. Someone in another live brought up, I think it was here with you, X-ray in the boxes. I think Ham brought that up. What about you?
Yeah.
X-ray? Yeah, X-ray the boxes and see. There has to be some technology that is. I think this is important.
Very important.
If a couple of boxes come up as not being real,
I don't know what that does to every other box that's out there that Baseball Card Exchange has authenticated. We've seen this happen in the past, and the hobby kind of kept rolling. But there has to be a way. I mean, it's just interesting that you get to the national on a big stage and you open a box and there's questions.
Yeah, and I don't know if you knew this, but I guess the Baseball Card Exchange, that's who PSA uses to authenticate their grades when they send them in. I mean, when I heard that today, I immediately said, I'm like, I can't send a high-end card into PSA. I don't trust the authentication process. I mean, there was reports out today, even Ken Golden came out and he said, you guys are trimming cards and you don't even know what the card is and how much, alteration there was, and you're grading it like it's authentic. I don't know if you saw that story. And Golden obviously was bought out by PSA and all that stuff too. And they're like partners now. And like you even have Ken Golden who is saying that about his partner, company, parent company that's helping them and growing together. If that doesn't say something to you, I don't know what does, but I will be grading with SGC, like I said, for a little bit. I'll buy the card PSA grade already if I want one.
It's interesting. It is interesting some of the stuff that goes on. It's almost to the point in my mind when there's a big show, I'm like, man, something's coming.
I know.
You're going to hear something.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't had one yet. We haven't had a big show yet that I can remember. I mean, like at Delmar, we had the $16,000 Star Wars card that was purchased from Dan, the great curator, to DAP Sports, and people jumped all over that. Like, is that embellished? Is that real? Is that the real? I can't think of a big show. I hope we get through Burbank. Nothing's going on.
I mean, I hope not. I really hope not. I know a lot of big people are going to be there, and I don't know. There's probably a lot of stuff we don't know about either. I know you obviously talk to more of these bigger guys than me because you're obviously in Cali, you're in the space, you're with these guys. I'm obviously down here in North Carolina, but there is a lot of stuff that I'm sure behind the scenes that we do not know about. That's not obviously, it doesn't have integrity behind it. Like it's bad for the hobby. People are probably placing fakes just to cause, controversy and spark news to keep the hobby relevant, which is not the right way. I mean, there's a ton of conspiracy theories that I'm reading. I'm trying not to get caught up in things because I'm actually here for the right reasons and a diehard collector and fan of, obviously collecting cards in the hobby and stuff. But, there is so much stuff that I'm sure we don't know about that's going on that people are plotting at these shows. And that's why you hear a string of breaking news stories and stuff like that. So.
Well, we talked about before controversy. People run to controversy. So this is interesting. I mean, some stuff that I don't even think about that. Dr. Applesauce did a video on how to scope out tampered Pokemon slabs and EVTs. Brendan says, you are not alone. Unreal, the inconsistency in PSA's grading.
Yeah.
Fake sakes. Check out Tag grading. Yeah, Tag is going to be at Burbank. Check out Tag grading on the weekend. Let us know what you think. I definitely will. I think they may be the real deal. Definitely will. I've already heard good things from some people that I know. But we'll be there, and from A to Z, we'll ask questions and lay this thing out. The technology looks supreme. Love what you collect. What's up? Will you grade all your cards to SGC moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this on a bunch of obviously shows now. I think this was our third one FD. But every show, I mean, it seems like to come up, and I think people need to understand. I mean, I don't know if you were here earlier on in the show, Love What You Collect, but I mentioned how you have cards that are just, we're talking serial number cards, rare cards from Prism, Select, Obsidian, like all these ultra modernish sets that are half the price and look better in the case with SGC. And the credibility, the customer service is A1. I mean, I can't even think about sending my cards into PSA, knowing what I know now after this year has gone on. I mean, they opened up their regular service, and I was so excited, FD. I was like, man, finally, I'm going to send a huge submission in. I got 50 cards I could send in, over the next month when I gather them together. 20, $30 a card, awesome, right? Send it in. I get online. I'm talking to a few people, and I'm like, I didn't see the turnaround time. I was like, what's the turnaround time, guys? They were like, a year. I was like, did PSA not learn their freaking lesson from before? If you cannot meet the demand, you're going to lose thousands of customers. And the only reason why you're still relevant with all the scams, all the popularity, all the stuff behind your name, is literally just because you have celebrities and big time people throwing money in your face to promote PSA. And all of us are sitting here believing in it. And now there's people like me. I know a bunch of other people that are finally seeing the light that another company has the potential to compete with PSA at a very, very, very high level. I mean, this Prism right here, Curry, like we talked about, FD, 2016, right? It's worth about the same price in a PSA 10. I mean, that should show you everything you need to know. It's slowly balancing out. I mean, SGC passed BGS for a reason. They're slowly creeping up on PSA just for the customer service alone, and their grades are very authentic and actual real grades. They've improved so much. I can go on and on. So if that answers your question, I will be moving on with them to grades. Now, if I want to buy a card that's higher end, I'll just buy a PSA as is.
Yeah, that's funny that you said. Kind of what I've been doing. If I see a card that's higher end and it's in a PSA slab, I'll probably purchase that.
Mm-hmm.
Have I submitted a card that came back from PSA? I submitted a LeBron 2003 Topps Chrome that came back a 10. That's probably the biggest card I've submitted to PSA.
Yeah, I saw that. That was awesome.
Man, that was TJ pulled that card in 2003.
Yeah,
was mindful.
Mindful
at the time to put it immediately when I used to break stuff in a penny sleeve top loader. I didn't let stuff just sit around. If I wasn't minded like that, that card wouldn't be a PSA 10.
Yep.
Now, some people have said, "Man, you should have did that when that card was $45,000, man." Yeah.
I know. You wouldn't be talking to me anymore, FD. You'd be up with the big ballers. The big ballers.
No, we still be talking. We'll still be talking. It's interesting that you mentioned James Wiseman in your when you talk about young players. I think highly of that young man. Well, I think most people that watch the show know that. But I think highly of James Wiseman. We'll see what he does. I think this is a big year for him. Moses Moody. We're just talking about Golden State. Moses Moody, Kuminga. Kuminga's probably going to have some time to further develop his game. Poole. So this is going to be big.
Oh, yeah.
Because that team could, with the talent that they have, barring no major injuries, they could run some things, man. They could. This year could be, This year could be 75 wins. Could be 72 wins. Could be 68 wins. I mean, it could be a great season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to be.
We'll definitely see how it starts out. Last year, they came out hot. We'll see. I can't wait to see what Phoenix does. How have they improved their team? They haven't done anything to improve their team.
Yeah, and didn't Chris Paul retire for real?
No, Chris Paul's not retired. He retired.
Okay. Hey, I mean, he was talking about it, but if he didn't, that's great. But like I said, at the end of the day,
he goes back and forth. He talks about retiring, then he starts talking about how he's plant-based. He talks about how he's going to retire.
That's wild. But I feel like Booker too. He's the same type of Tatum. You know what I mean? Amazing player, can take over games. I mean, and then when it's time to play, it's just they can't do it.
Hey, I'm gonna have a Booker card at Burbank for trade. If anybody's interested. I think it's the only Booker I own too.
What is it? Is it an on-card auto?
I don't have it out. No, I think it's on the sticker. And it's not numbered. The risk.
Don't get me started on sticker autos. I think they're one of the most underrated pieces you can own too. Sticker autos have a ton of value.
I've said this before myself. People are like, "Oh, well, is that card?" But what I tell people too is like they talk about the Curry rookie year. A lot of his stuff was sticker autos. Klay Thompson, a lot of his stuff was sticker auto. So there's some years where there are a lot of sticker autos out there. So we walking away from this whole rookie year. I mean, I know National Treasures with Curry. How many people have those in their hand?
Not much.
You know. Did you see the Jordan sale the other day? I mean,
I heard about it.
The LeBron sale?
No, not that one. I did. I saw some Jordan stuff moving around though.
That was a LeBron card that sold, I think, yesterday, the day before. It was on Card Ladder. Card was $1,500 in 2012. Just sold for 90-something thousand.
Oh yeah. I did see that.
He saw that. All right, up 6,000%. And Love What You Collect just sent me this gold Mahomes.
Yep, I saw that too. It
Just
went
sold.
up. It was like $300, and it's like 90,000 or something.
Back then, who was talking about gold?
Yeah.
And now the card is 265,000.
Oh.
Up 81,000%. So let's talk about this, right? So we're talking about golds. They're out of 10. There are some black golds out of 5. So we're talking about cards now where only 10 were made. People are running at goals. Where do these cards go? So this card just sold for $265,000. Where's this card in 15 years? If Mahomes, if he wins another Super Bowl or not, if he's Hall of Fame, if he throws for 75,000 yards, where's this card, man?
Yeah, I think it will be if Mahomes can win. How many Super Bowls does Mahomes have? 2? 1?
2.
So he's got 2. He's got 2, I think. Yeah. So let's say he wins 5 Super Bowls. Let's just say statistically and historically, it looks like he's going to win around 4 or 5 from the way he's playing and just like the Chiefs.
He only has 1 Super Bowl.
Okay. Oh, okay. So let's say he gets 4.
MVP.
Yeah. We'll say 4 or 5. Right. It's very early. I think that card will be almost $1 million card.
I think we're going to start saying. I think this is what we're going to start saying. I think we're going to start seeing $1 million cards of players pretty early in their career.
Bad.
You're going to start seeing that, and then when they shake out to be like Steph level, I don't want to say Brady. Who else can I think of? Even Brees level, Peyton Manning level. Those cards are going to probably be like $6 million cards, man.
Yeah, I think Drew Brees is another player that a lot of people are not even touching because, and he's obviously going to be a Hall of Famer, and all that stuff. But why are people not investing in proven track record quarterbacks? It blows my mind.
Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. That's some great Peyton Manning cards that are quite affordable.
Even Tom Brady, there's so many cards that are affordable that are PSA 10s from the 03, 05. Like all the Prism select variations, all those early on that I keep saying numbered, 150 to 300, $400. I mean, Obsidian, even that new set, hasn't been around that long. But the cards, I mean, I'm looking at a Patrick Mahomes, like a Victorous or something, to number to like 40, and a PSA 10 looks incredible in a PSA slab, and it's $499 numbered.
Oh, I saw that. You put this up, right?
Yeah. Why? Yes. Like, what are we doing? I'm just like, I'm trying to be on a mission to restore my faith inside of and help people like restore faith in the hobby in terms of doing the right things and thinking long term. But it just, I feel like everyone is so impressionable by the media and the breakers mainly and entertainment factor of it. It's just people got to start doing the right things because it's going to hurt them big time in the long term. Big time.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's more flash than anything else.
Yeah.
Too wonderful. Carry a black light and magnifying glass whenever they cars. Too wonderful. What are you seeing? Everybody jokes about the deodorant that needs to be passed out, but too wonderful. What are you seeing? Let me know what's up on the black light.
Is that actually a thing? I heard it was a myth that everyone smells horrible at these shows when you're up close on them.
I've been to a few shows. I was actually at Collecticon on Sunday. It was the first time I've ever noticed something. Just walking by, just first time I really noticed something. Then I was like, I see what people are talking about. I turned to G. I was like, yeah. Raw cars are us. They grade tough, SGC.
Oh, yeah. And that makes it even better. I mean, to me, PSA is too slack. I mean, they're giving 10s out like hot candies just to get people to grade with them. I would rather take a place like SGC that hammers your card and is tough on your card and you earn a 9 or a 10 than get a 10 for free. With, that is literally like a 9 or an 8.
Too Wonderful says Golden State's not going back to back.
Wonderful.
So this is what we got to do. If they're not going back to back, I can't assume it, right?
Yep.
Give me your pick though. Too Wonderful. I think that's fair, right? You got to give me your pick because I'm saying Golden State's going to win a championship this year.
Yeah, I can't see anyone coming out of the West. I can't even think of somebody right now.
No, unless there's some major injuries going on. I just don't see that. And even with that, there may be other people on the team that step up and show who they are.
Yeah, they did this year.
But Too Wonderful, I want to know. Money Mike, Curry will break Jordan's 6 titles with the soft NBA era. I think Curry at least has 6 when he retires.
If he gets 7, that would be
we're in that Brady
best
zone.
Ever, best all time.
I can remember when Brady had 4. We're in that Brady zone right now, and people are like, man, he might get 5.
Where's he at now?
7 working on 8. Gonna be working on 8 pretty soon. Julio's looking good. They signed another tight end. They got their running back solidified. Defense is on point.
Yeah, Julio Jones RPAs right now. They're only like $200, by the way.
That's right. Even when I purchased one last year at the National, I think I paid $200 for it. I think it's out of 10 booklet. What a jersey patch, bro. That blew my mind. So when Brady came up, I was like, oh my goodness. All right. How about this BGS Tom Brady rookie card that was altered from 6 to 8? Y'all see this scam? I think I
heard it. I just saw it.
So something about that. It is interesting to me that altered cards. So if a card is altered, like one of the first stages of authenticating or grading a card is measuring the card, right?
Yeah.
So how do these altered cards get through? Is it some kind of other alteration besides trimming? It's probably what it is.
Yep, and it's also a publicity stunt too. They know if they drop the ball and say, "Oh man, we got a Tom Brady, BGS 6," doesn't look too good on social media.
True. FD, you're going to be at the Burbank Sports Card Shop. I'm going to be at the show.
Hey, there we go. Nice.
It's my home shop. I would like to go meet you, bro. Maybe trade something. Oh yeah, roll cards. Let's get together. Are you roll cards on Instagram? Let me see if I can find you here.
Man, I'm missing out, FD. I need to get on a plane and get down there.
Well, Delmar is coming too. October.
Oh, really? Nice.
I think that's the last. There's probably some other shows coming. I want to go back to the Bay Area too at some point in 2020. In 2023, I want to get to the Bay Area. I want to get to Dallas. I think she and I have talked about this. I think it's time to go to Dallas. Those are 2 big things I want to do, hopefully in the first 7 months of the year. And then we'll see what's up after that. But let me see about raw cards. Yeah, you're here. Okay. I will shoot you a message so that we definitely get together over the weekend. Hopefully I have something to trade. I have something that you like.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah. The Brady was a PSA slab. Something sports cards. Oh, I'll put BGS. I'm in PSI. I got you. You did the video, something sports cars. No way nice. I don't know what that was. Tell me what that was. Wiggins' cars are going to shoot up if he takes Clay's role a second score.
No way.
I don't think so. I didn't predict that Wiggins' cars would move after this finals run.
Yeah, they really didn't. I mean, his rookie cards went up a little bit, but I mean, people need to understand Clay is a Hall of Famer. Second bit, I think almost he's moving in the top 5 best shooters ever.
Yes.
And he's been hurt more than Steph Curry in his career, and he's still putting up these type of numbers. People forget that. And then just like his greatness in general is like, I think this year he's gonna average 25 points a game. Huge. He's gonna shoot efficiently. Wiggins is just he's a high flyer. He's athletic, can shoot a little bit, but I mean he was a special Wiggins. I don't know if he can do that again.
Yeah, he's got to prove himself. Don't sleep on Klay Thompson. I mean, we're talking about a man
everyone
was crazy points on 6 dribbles or something. I mean, he's defended people to the nth degree. You can't sleep on that guy. Let me play something right quick. This is just on my mind. Let me find something here. This is the play, like the first run-in between Kobe Bryant and Steph Curry. Let me find this. Hold on here.
I think I've seen this before. It's pretty cool.
Talking. I just love how I was watching this the other night. How Curry did not back down to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Clay. It always brings up Curry with me. It's a little long. I'll go through. Fine. Yeah, I'll go through and find. Let me bring this up here. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, you're talking about the one where Kobe makes a 3 and then Curry comes right back and makes a 3 on him again and smacks him in the butt.
That's exactly it. Hold on here. And you know what I love? Everybody knows Kobe Bryant, right? We're going to play this on his birthday. Kobe would, if you're spanking this guy over here, Kobe would say, you know what? I got TJ. I'm going to lock TJ down. He's not scoring another basket. And this is how he comes at Steph. Steph's young in the game. He's been playing a couple of seasons. And so Kobe steps out here like he's about to lock this down. And what I loved about Steph is that Steph acknowledged that he came out, but did not. Just watch these shots that Curry's hitting. We got some time here.
Score!
Kobe's trying to do his thing.
Kobe Bryant with it, bounces it to Sacre. Lakers now
He's
trying
on
to
Clay.
get into it with 8 on the shot clock. And Bryant hits him.
Clay come back at him.
Back by Klay Thompson, and it's 31-11. Deep in the corner, Klay Thompson
More Clay.
battles it home over Ellington. 59-30, a 29-point deficit. Make it over 30 again. 60. Klay Thompson hits the jump shot. Lakers with the basketball in the attacking zone. Kobe, Boozer trying to move left, pull up over David Lee.
Boozer had a. You said Curry just looked at him?
Yeah, I love it. The basketball like that it's gone. I feel like.
Man, I miss that stuff. Ooh, Kobe, Bean, Bryant, Steph, Wardell, Curry. Man.
Oh, yeah.
I was sitting here the other night in the room just watching this, like, Dude, where you because you know what Kobe's at in his career at that time. But Curry hit the shot and look at him like, you step out here, bro. It's not happening, man. All right, so we got some people talking about Kobe is second best player to ever play. I respect it, Money Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I expect it. But I love me some Kobe Bryant. I got him at number 5 all time on my list. Too Wonderful, tripping Kobe in top 20, but not number 2. I think he's beyond top 20. I can't disrespect that young man like that. He's beyond top 20. Curry has the most beautiful jump in the history of the NBA. It's straight nets, man. He trains with a regiment where if he's not hitting all net, he considers it a miss. So he holds himself to a high standard, and I think you can see that when you watch them play. Now, this next comment I love, and everybody knows I love this. Curry and Clay will light up those. Pippen, my favorite player, but I just don't think they could hang with the Splash Trio. I will say this again. No one's beating the 96 Bulls. Hero, you can dream a dream, but reality comes, man. No one's beating Mike Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Rodman in a 7-game series.
Yep.
Because you can talk about Curry and Clay. There's a lot of people on this team is going to get exposed, and those two would be demanded of them to work more on the defensive end. Because we can't watch Boston and think that's the 96 Bulls. So if Curry is hot, the 96 Bulls don't have a chance for sure.
Oh,
I love my people though. They know how to come at me, man. I love my people, but it's not happening.
Yeah, I think Jordan being hot is way more of a problem than Curry being hot.
And this is what I ask people: like, what if Jordan put shooting the three as top on his priority list?
Oh man, he would average 35 a game, and then you bring that athleticism and determination. Curry doesn't. Curry doesn't have that killer instinct. He transformed the game in terms of NBA. But I mean, you find someone who's an actual dog like Jordan was, and have them do what Jordan did, and I'll give you $100.
Curry, I never really saw something out of him from an emotional standpoint into that game where he was hitting those shots versus Boston. And he kind of tied the series up. Is when I saw like he's screaming and howling on the court, pumping his fist. Like you never see that from Curry. So it's going to be interesting to see what is he displaying going forward. And when he has a team down, is he taking them out or are they just down? Too wonderful. The only dynasty that runs the Bay Area out of 49ers. Maybe years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe when Jerry Rice was running routes. I mean, I don't know. Too wonderful. What? 2005 Spurs would spank Golden State. 96 Bulls would shut down the Warriors with the soft defense in the modern day NBA. People do sleep on the Spurs. I don't talk about the Spurs enough.
Yeah, fundamentals beat a lot of good teams.
LeBron wish he had 1% of Curry and Kobe mentality.
I agree.
I wonder why he doesn't, though. I'd love to see that LeBron.
Yep, and I remember when that was a thing when he was on the Heat. I mean, that 20. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even. I'm obviously a Heat fan, but I'd never cared for LeBron being on the team until I saw him Game 6 against the Celtics. What he did to them,
bro. I watched this last weekend.
I've never seen something like that in my life where it was like just blood was in the streets. I mean.
He put that team on his back and tied that series up.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. The shots that he was hitting, how he was taking it to the cup, how he was playing defense, the way he was rebounding, it was like he was possessed.
But yeah.
And you saw Boston kind of looking at each other, Paul Pierce and was kind of looking around.
They knew they were done.
And if you watch that game, you're like, man, how was Boston ever up?
Well, Dwayne Wade got hurt a lot, and even in that team too, they didn't really have many good. They didn't have really a third option for scoring. I mean, Chris Bosh, he was in and out with injuries as well, and Mike Miller, those guys, Shane Battier, really good, but no one was really a stand-up third scorer. Yeah,
because everybody took that max money and they cleared that bench out.
Mm-hmm.
Then they pieced some pieces together to make up a team. I miss 80s, Rick. I miss 80s, 90s football and basketball when you could play defense and the game was on another level. Yeah. Yeah, 80s is when someone could come through catching a ball as a wide receiver across the middle of the field and get clothesline.
Yep.
This is when, and I no disrespect to Cooper Kupp.
But this is when people start talking about Cooper Kupp, and man, I have to control myself.
Me too. Me too.
You just can't look at numbers and be like, "Oh man, this dude's one of the greatest wide receivers of all time."
People are saying he's one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, it's just like that Trevor Lawrence comment I said last time.
And I always say Robert Woods got hurt. What if Robert Woods didn't get hurt last year? Because they had Cooper Kupp running his plays. So let's see what's up this year. Let's see if we're talking about Golden State going back to back. Let's see if Cooper Kupp can go back to back.
I don't know. I mean, I think they need to bring back Odell Beckham Jr. in my opinion too. Have that third option.
Some people are questioning if he's coachable or not. That's a loose term to me. Is he coachable? There was some talk Von Miller was about him going to Buffalo. So we'll see what.
Yeah, that's going to happen pretty soon too with Odell. He's got to report to camp or something, or else he's got to wait.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Rick Lau, even with today's rules, the Bulls still win. I don't even think that's a question. If anybody's questioning that out there, I don't know. Too wonderful. Kareem, Jordan, Duncan, Will Olajuwon, top 5, Kobe Cracks, top 10. Okay.
I haven't heard.
I had one at 10. I think that's how Kobe's in my top 5.
I haven't heard Olajuwon in anyone's top 5 before.
I haven't heard that either. I had Olajuwon top 10. I think 7, 8, somewhere around there. Jordan was great. See, Money Mike. Money Mike, let me just say this. A person really shouldn't say Jordan was great, but
have you seen his 3-point percentage? It was actually quite high.
Yeah, he didn't shoot a lot of them. But like I tell people all the time, if he put that up on his priority list, Jordan, Money Mike, I appreciate you, brother. I respect your opinion. Let me just read this because I want to respect it. Jordan was great, but I'm going to pause there. He was never a great 3-point shooter. I respect it, man. I respect it. But what if Jordan put shooting threes up on his priority list? Jordan was a mid-range player, and early in his career would dunk all over you. Yep. That was his game. You can't stop that. You can't block that shot. When he's in the post, he does that shimmy and turn. You can't mess with that. So, and actually, that's a higher percentage shot than going out here and shooting a three. But if he said, I want to start shooting threes, because remember when people said, well, Mike dunks on people, but he doesn't play defense. Then he was Defensive Player of the Year and scoring champion in the same season. So I believe if and this is the scenario, I think, when people talk about the Curry and Golden State and the Bulls. Y'all know I love Curry, but what does Mike put stuff on a priority list? You just can't say in the scenario where Mike doesn't shoot threes. He didn't prioritize it up.
Yeah, he prioritized championships.
That's right, winning.
Dominating, snatching heart. Edgar Flores, maybe the big difference can be the defense Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman would provide compared to the kind of defense Steph, Clay.
100%.
But whatever this
exactly what I'm thinking.
Whenever this is talked about, no one talks about Draymond Green. What is Draymond Green doing in these games? Getting exposed? What is he doing? He's going to D up Rodman? He's going to take Rodman?
No.
He's rebound Rodman.
Rodman would absolutely murder him.
Destroy him. He would destroy him.
Yeah.
So if Rodman's probably snatching 25 boards a game, what is Draymond doing? And then what team are you talking about? Recent teams? And I think people always want to bring in Kevin Durant. The Kevin Durant teams will beat 96. It's not happening, people. Ron Harper will D up against anybody too. Yep. Speak on that. Steve Smith and Randy Moss. There is even no comparison. I appreciate this. Wonderful. Because you speak.
What?
There is no comparison between Steve Smith and Randy Moss.
It's getting late for some people on this stream. Oh my gosh! First off, Randy. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
Oh my god! What are we doing?
Oh, Randy Moss. Let me give you an analogy here. Randy Moss is the sun.
Right. Cooper Kupp is part of Pluto.
I can't do it.
That's how that solar system's rotating, people.
Oh, I
Steve
literally
Smith,
am crying from the
I can't wait
tears.
till Steve Smith gets into the Hall of Fame. I like Steve Smith a lot. But like I said, let's see if Cooper Kupp can go back to back. I should get some shirts made. Can Cooper Kupp go back to back?
There's like this comparison is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like you're not sitting here putting like Odell Beckham Jr. or like or like Terrell Owens, right? You're putting Steve Smith and Randy Moss. Of course, they're ahead of him. You're gonna put them in the same category as like putting Kwame Brown in the same conversation as Shaquille O'Neal.
That's right.
Just doesn't happen. Just doesn't happen.
Tell me, man, this is how this thing goes out here. Cooper Kupp. All right. Tom Waddle was a beast across the field. Rick, he was. I was a Bear fan. Followed Tom Waddle. Concussions kind of put him on the ball. But he was a great player. He's even better. He's a great commentator, too. Edgar Flores, too wonderful, agreed. I love it. Hero 3, if those Rams went back-to-back, they're not, man. The Rams are not going to be good, man. I'm telling you, Stafford has problems. He has problems. And it's not going away. And, if I'm a defensive end and he's pulling that ball back to throw.
Yep, he's right on it.
I'm going to be on that elbow. Maybe the Lakers can get in on that parade. The only way the Lakers and the Rams will be at a parade is if they catch a flight and stake out the area early, pull their seats up at about 5 a.m. That's the only way they're going to get to a parade. Unless they want to go
now, I will say, obviously there's always a chance with LeBron playing, but I think age is catching up to LeBron faster than he thought it would.
That's right. I agree with that. I think that's why he's in these pickup games, because he wants to close this thing out a certain way. Christopher King, in my opinion, Odell has not done anything but made a one-handed catch. I'm just saying. I've said this before, too. If Odell's not make that catch, people are not talking about him. There's always an opinion, too, if he has something on that glove. But too wonderful. Olajuwon worked with Kobe on the Dream Shake, plus him and Ralph Sampson did original Twin Towers. I saw Ralph Sampson in person once. Very tall individual. I was in a grocery store. I looked down the way like, man, that's Ralph Sampson. Very, very kind guy, though. Talking to everybody. Very, very cool. Very cool person. Money Mike, it hit to defend the three-point shot when Curry is shooting it at half court. I think
hard to
defend the three-point shot. Yeah, it is. I mean, Curry's on another level. Barkley would destroy Draymond. That's not even there are many people. I like to see Draymond play against like Xavier McDaniel and Bill Laimbeer and Rick Horn. And there are people I could name. Like he went hard at Cedric Maxwell during the finals because Maxwell was talking. But come on. Money Mike, D. Raymond would kick Robin in the nuts and be done with series. Hero 3, hey, don't go at the defensive player of the year Green. He will get the Warriors a triple single. So Draymond is a good person in their system. He does good work. I'm talking about when you start playing against the greatest of all time, doing something like a Dennis Rodman, it's when you have problems.
I mean, his one job is like, just think about, you got a guy whose one job is to get every rebound that is around him, right? That's why he would get 20, 30, 40 a game, because they needed those things, and he made that commitment. He would go like 0 points, 0 assists, 40 rebounds. Draymond Green, he does that, like he does the 10-10-10 thing, and he does have a lot of impact, but just in terms of pure physicality, athleticism, and just heart, I feel like Dennis Rodman just has more.
Hey, Dennis Rodman was something else. Lambs ain't going back.
Come on now. 49ers winning the division. I can't wait to see. I want to see what Trey Lance is talking about.
Oh man,
what is he doing?
Who's in their division again? We got the Rams, 49ers.
Let me look it up here.
I think the Raiders and Chiefs, is it?
You got the 49ers, the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, I'm mixing up the other one. But like I said, I think 49ers are going to be horrible. I think the Cardinals will do really well, though, because I think Kyler Murray is going to finally get over the hump.
You know what's amazing in the NFL? Every year we have a team or two who is a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl, not just getting there. And I think the 49ers are that team this year.
You think so? You think if Trey Lance does really, really well, they're going to get there?
I think if they had another quarterback.
Oh, another. So you're not a believer?
I haven't seen anything from this guy that's rocking my world.
Yeah. George Kittle went on the record and said he does things at the quarterback position he hasn't seen since he watched Michael Vick play. So that's pretty high praise.
Okay.
So
let me just say this, right? Michael Vick admitted to never reading a playbook. Let's just be for real. And I'm not dissing Michael Vick is a great player. He did it straight off athleticism. So let me just back up. Is he saying that Lance is that athletic? Is that what he's saying?
That athletic, yep, and that he's got that arm strength. Now Vic could throw 78-yard throws. People didn't know that. He had very good arm strength, and he ran a 4.1, 4.2.
But
Trey Lance,
back, read the defense, and then throw a 70-yard pass.
Probably not. But Trey Lance ain't doing that. I mean, I don't know.
And he has weapons. Like, I don't know what Debo and them are going to do. He has weapons. So.
Yeah, Debo Samuel, I feel like, is a little overrated.
You think so?
Just a little bit.
I like him a lot.
Yeah,
but again, in the NFL, you got to run that thing back. We got to see what Debo's coming with this year.
Yeah.
We got to see. I believe Jalen Hurts is going to have a breakout.
Everyone's saying that.
Not just saying that because I'm a Philly Eagles fan. I think you might be saying that because you're a Philly Eagles fan.
Same thing. He can't throw the ball at all.
He can
run.
I believe him and Tua, though. I don't know if Tua can throw the ball.
Yeah, I saw Tua throwing in some drills. He lofts it up like a baseball throw.
That's how he does it. He doesn't have the arm strength, man. You can kind of see that at Alabama. Definitely can see it last season.
Oh, yeah.
And so he has a guy out there running a 4.2 and another guy running a 4.2. Wow.
Yep.
It's got to be some pressure there. Christopher King, right, no back-to-back. Stafford gift wrapped that NFC Championship game to the 49ers. But the safety dropped interception in the game. True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they shouldn't even been in the Super Bowl, man. But it is what it is. Things happen in games. Go back to when the New Orleans Saints played and the Rams beat them and shouldn't have beat them. So, Feed the Gods, what's up? How you doing?
There he is.
2-1 says the Cardinals are trash.
I think they are. I think they're. I don't think they're trash necessarily, but they're definitely right now. I think an 8-8 team to me on paper.
Hero says my money is on the Chargers. Those guys finally look ready for a Lombardi. The only question I have about them is their running back. Is he durable enough to get through a season?
Austin Eckler, or whatever. Yeah, he's a freak in the weight room. So hopefully they.
We talked earlier about how that weight room sometimes. You don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep.
I mean, he can definitely run the ball hard. I've seen him make first downs out of plays that you didn't even think was going to be anything. I can't disrespect him. I just want to know, can he take that thing all year? Kittle just talks. That's why he can't play a full season without getting hurt.
Bang, Niner game.
Has anybody gone back and seen Kittle at Iowa? Let me pull up a picture. See if I can get a good picture of Kittle at Iowa. He looked like a totally different human being.
Mm-hmm. That money can change you.
There's one particular picture I'm looking. Okay, here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Let me show you this. Who is this guy? Can anybody recognize who this guy is? Yeah, I seen this, man, blew my mind. Who is this guy right here?
Oh.
Look at that guy. You see that guy? Let me see if I can see if I can find another good one. Look at that guy. Blows my mind, man. Blows my mind.
He put on at least 30 pounds with the 49ers.
Is that? I mean, I don't know. You know, maybe it's eating wheat, man. Maybe it's, you know. And look at this guy now. That's a totally different person. Yeah. Look at this guy.
Yeah, look at how big he is.
That's a totally different guy. It's like looking at young J.J. Watt.
Oh, yeah.
You go from walking on at a school, defensive player of the year. Hero 3, Vic was so special on the grid. That arm was just as impressive as his legs. The year that he ran for 1,000 yards, though, there was something wrong with that. There's something wrong. There's something really wrong with your offensive scheme and what you're doing when you're quarterback. Michael Vick was the cheat code of the NFL on NFL Street.
Yeah, and Madden too.
Michael Thomas, is he coming back? I don't know. Saints been done. How many nut kicks would Rodman Draymond? One of them will probably get tossed out of some games.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think it'll be Dennis Rodman. Why isn't anyone bringing up the Bengals? Because they have a porous offensive line.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is gonna be a lot.
Dexlo says thoughts on Amon-Ra Brown. He's a nice wide receiver.
Yeah, he's like a hybrid.
His quarterback though is Goff. So whenever I start thinking about a wide receiver, and if that person is a buy, who's their quarterback? It's the same as fantasy. Yeah. Like when I'm picking a wide receiver in fantasy, what's going on there? Bengals winning that division easily. We'll see about that. Mahomes' RPA are very affordable right now. He has his easiest road to the NFL. Excuse me, to the Super Bowl. I haven't checked prices on Mahomes' RPAs.
Yeah, his patches are really cheap too, which is pretty shocking to me.
It's football season. The trash talking has commenced. I'm a Broncos fan, but the AFC West will be a bloodbath. Too many good.
Yep, that's what I was saying. The Chargers with Herbert, everyone's thinking he's got a dog fight to get out of that division. I mean, Broncos, right? Chiefs, Raiders.
Yeah, his schedule is tough. Who would you rather have, Vic or Jackson?
Vic or who's Jackson? Which Jackson? There's 50 million Jacksons.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Michael Vick, 100%. Come on.
Yeah, I go Michael. I don't even know if that's a real. Who would win a foot race?
Vic.
Probably would be Vic because I don't know what both ran the 40 in, but I would still put my money on Vic. Too wonderful FD. To answer your earlier question, Denver taking out Denver. Okay.
Hey, I think Michael Porter Jr. is a very good player. Murray, he's playing again. But, I mean, tear those ACLs, hurt that knee, it's hard to come back.
Well, Porter Jr., that back, we get to see what he's going to do. I like him a lot. A big guy who can shoot the three like that. Comes from his father, I think, was his coach. He comes from a close-knit family. I like him a lot, but we got to just see what he can do. Too wonderful. You already know I don't think Denver's beating Golden State, but we'll see. This is why they play the game. Money Mike, Burrow is Dan Marino. He won't. Money Mike says this like every week. He says this every week.
He said, Money Mike, do you think Trevor Lawrence is the next Peyton Manning?
I think I don't know if he's talking about talent. I think he's just saying, hopefully, he won't be back to the Super Bowl. Axel says he's taking Lamar Jackson all day. Okay. Dexter, I assume you've watched very little Michael Vick film, video, anything. Can I assume that? Too wonderful. Why would you ever put Burrow on the same sentence as Marino?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea. So, do you have shows in your area that are coming up? Like, what's going on the East Coast? I know you have Chantilly coming up, probably.
Yeah. There's a lot of shows. There's not many shows down here, to be honest, and it does get pretty frustrating. Hickory is the biggest spectacle down here. There's the show that everyone goes to down in Hickory. But there's some local ones down in downtown Charlotte on the weekends too, but nothing that would make me want to get up and go on a Saturday morning just to look around.
I understand. Believe me, I understand that.
So that's why
I'm balancing out myself. How much activity can I get going through personal networks on cards, eBay, and not just like I've been working on this for a few months now, not just going to a show. And then I think my strategy is going to become looking at stuff that is greatly undervalued, like we talked about, through many different phases of acquiring a card, and probably pooling some purchases into, unless the deal is just great, certain things I'm really going after. You know, more of a real focused approach, probably for the next 12 months. Really focused approach.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna kick it off at Burbank. Like when I go to Burbank, I'm taking that Devin Booker card. I have 2 LaMelo Ball cards. One is his flawless collegiate rookie card, a gold out of 10, autograph on card with a patch of his Australian jersey. And one is a Prism base rookie card, BGS 10. So I'm taking those 3 cards to hopefully move into something Bay Area related.
Steph Curry.
Yes. And then really dig into some Ben and see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I mean, I could easily drop, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 on a card right now, but I really like, PSA Collector. I don't know if you remember that. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember him vividly. I used to watch a lot of his stuff. Yeah.
So he did this, right? He did it with Select. He did it with mainly Select, and he would just pick out the same exact, just copies of Lucas Select courtside. He would do Ja Morant, all those people, and it worked. I mean, he was netting, netting after fees, taxes, and everything, getting the cards graded with PSA, right, and SGC. He was doing that too when they were first starting out, and he was packing in $70,000-$80,000 years extra. That's just on like flipping. I mean, not many people are doing that, anymore. So, like I said, I'm trying to take that inspiration and do that. It's people may look at me and be like, "Oh, you got the money, but you're wasting it on whatever." But people don't understand the compounding effect. It's like, would you rather get $1 million all at once or a penny a day doubling for 30 days?
Well, I'm gonna ride with you, man. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. And we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, just back to the basics. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will have conversations about this. Herbert is the next Andrew Luck. Money Mike, come with it, bro.
I can see it.
You think Herbert will retire early like that after getting beat down?
Yeah, I mean it's a possibility.
Hey, I say this all the time. Andrew Luck, I respect him, and if I was him, I probably would have retired. The man took a beating, and I think it ate at him inside out. He went through a lot.
100%.
To me, him and Carr's brother, that's what the Texans. Those 2 guys got destroyed. Who is TJ targeting? NBA, MLB?
NBA right now. I am really just going all in on Steph Curry. MLB, I am not doing anything with right now. Way too risky, and
neither am I.
I was targeting.
I was targeting some Mike Trout cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm backing away from that.
So that's really what I'm doing right now. And then I'm getting together a ton of higher end, but also kind of some, higher middle end, and going to be getting them graded with SGC to flip them. So I'm going to just do that and compound it up month by month, especially with the turnaround time. Supposedly SGC is down to 10 days of turnaround time.
I'm not shocked.
I mean,
They have
come
been
on.
focusing on turnaround time. They've been talking about turnaround time. They've been talking about how many people around the national, how many people they were adding to their team.
Yep.
That's going to be big, man. I think these companies are going to realize turnaround time logistics is going to make a difference. Are you two in the rugby at all? I have not been. We have our own league and national teams. Really?
Yeah,
feed the guys, you're playing rugby? Please let me know that. And where are you playing rugby at?
Australia?
I'll come out and check. No, he lives outside of LA. I'll come out and check that out. Money Mike, he needs a flip phone first. Dexpo, FD, my buying approach has been going heavy into iconic parallels. None of the top tier goats, obviously too expensive. We'll go after the second tiers. Jokic, Klay Thompson. That's talking the talk, bro.
Yep, talking the talk, and your bank account going to be very, very happy in a few years. So,
two wonderful set feet of guys. You in Australia or New Zealand? Love what you collect. TJ, are your cards? Are you doing cards full time? If so, how do you feel being full time?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. So, FD, I want to talk to you about this anyway because you're a YouTuber, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, biggest thing that's keeping me back from full time is literally YouTube. And I have a pretty successful channel in terms of the middle end. We just cracked 4,000 subscribers.
Congratulations,
which is awesome. But YouTube has just drastically impacted the RPM for people that are monetized. So when you get to a certain level, it's basically your rate per mile, which is your rate per 1,000 views. So my rate per 1,000 views was like $7 to $10. I worked really, really hard, and that's pretty high for a card collecting channel. And YouTube actually said a big FU to me, and they, for some reason, dropped my RPM down to like $1, which is horrible. And I have like a ton of claims in, and that's really what's separating me right now. I could go full time if I wanted to, just because I know how to make $1 really, really fast in here, and I also do sports cards consulting, teaching people how to open up their own brands, but also their own businesses profitably and scale it, month to month. But right now I'm doing it part-time. I work a 9 to 5. I'm a digital marketing manager for over here in Charlotte. So that's like my 9 to 5. I would absolutely love to do this full time. It's my absolute love and passion, but YouTube is really screwing me over. And that's not me, making excuses. But I've really upped my content this year and really trying to give people what they want and what they need. So I'm hoping that, it goes back to normal, because some videos I'll make, $400. Some videos I'll make $1. It's really crazy. I don't know what's going on.
You make great content.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating because these guys that are just throwing out, doing like the $100,000 purchases at card shows. I mean, it's cool, it's entertaining, but that's really the only thing that's getting the clicks right now. And then obviously the daily vlogs and stuff of card shows. But we'll see. It's very frustrating. So that's the dark side of trying to grow and scale a business, but also, your brand on the back end. So any sort of business knowledge, right? You want to take your side hustle income to cover your expenses, and then you want to take your 9 to 5 to cover your acquisition costs of the cards. That's how you really grow. So I can't do that fully right now, even though I have a ton of savings. I don't want, that's like for other stuff down the line, but that's my long explanation.
No, that's the real deal. That's the real deal. And that strategy that you're talking about is kind of the strategy that I use. I kind of go to work, do what I need to do, and then use extra funds to do other things I want to do with them. Try to set up something for the future
as well as the present. So, and then that affects how I buy. What am I buying? You know, I try to limit. How would I say this? I try to limit my risky plays, like making a decision to purchase something just because that's what I want to do, or did I go through a strategy that got me there?
Yeah.
So,
and that's where you can really screw yourself over. You know, even like this is my SGC submission. I just did a video on it. All is here. Josh Allen, Tom Brady numbered, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, select. These are all select patches, refractors. I just got a ton in, like I said, from Burbank Sports too. So you see the strategy, right? I'm just focusing on select around the 2018 up to 2021 numbered. Rare, obviously, parallels and inserts. I mean, and I have what the people want on eBay. So these cards, no matter what, if I gain or lose, will sell, and I'll be able to move them fast.
True. That's what we call liquid.
Yep. Staying liquid.
Too wonderful. No more prospecting for me in MLB.
Yeah, because he invests.
Like rolling the dice. I mean, it's a gamble. You know, so you just don't know what's about to go down.
Yep.
That's how I feel about that. There may be other people out there that feel totally differently. I respect it. But when it comes to me, I haven't been making anybody watching the channel, I don't keep stuff too much back here. So I haven't been picking up any Major League Baseball. And Trout was the only person I was thinking about. But I got to see how this is going to play out. I don't know. Mahomes is the only QB in the AFC I trust to win.
Yep, me too.
TJ, I got to agree 100% with you on SGC. I would definitely consider them. Maybe it's just me, but I prefer SGC and BGS over PSA. I hope the hobby starts seeing the value of those too. I think Beckett is going to come with more information about Beckett now.
Yeah, they need to make up some ground, but I do really like the black and the black label, obviously, but the gold and see-through label. I really do like that for BGS. They changed it. If they change it back, they really should. But if they change it that new one, it's going to be trouble.
I think the new one got ripped so much at the National that became a proposal.
Yep.
Feed the guys. I don't personally play rugby. I'm just outside of Corona. Wildemar, California. Rugby is my guilty pleasure of sports. It's definitely an untapped market for us. I can see that.
Yep.
Definitely in that area, I can see that. Will there ever be a company that compete with YouTube?
Yeah, I don't think so. In terms of long form content, I mean, the thing is like everybody's now saying to go over to YouTube. And you know, there's people like me and FD who have been there for a while. You know, other guys that have been here for a while, grinding hard. You know, I grind hard, like. And the thing is too, it's like some days you don't even want to create videos anymore because it's like, man, what is the payout and what's the opportunity when you know, YouTube is changing so much stuff to just accommodate these huge celebrities. And like, I love YouTube. It's given me a ton of opportunity, but it's also, you know, not rewarded me for work that should have been rewarded, if that makes sense.
Money Mike said working a 9 to 5 and doing cards as a side hustle is the best way to live a stress-free life.
Oh, yeah.
Can you make money if you lose on the deal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had cards where, let's say too, and this is all goes down into prospecting, Sancho. So if you go right to these, you know, auction houses, let's say you're trading with a buddy, you know the value of the card, but you still, let's say, get the card for, you know, a middle price. Let's say a card's worth $200 on eBay and it resells for $400, but you buy the card at, let's say, you know, $300. So you're already buying it in the low end in terms of being able to find it for lower than the market value. So then too, you just got to see if it's gradable. Now, if it's gradable, then you're obviously going to make way more money. But if you're just selling it raw again, you just have to wait until the right times, especially if you don't get full value for the card, whether you're buying or selling. But that's what I've done. It's worked out really, really well because even if you hold it and lose money on it, you got to still buy these cards that you can stay liquid on and move fast that are really popular, you know, Hall of Fame type players that people are searching for on a daily.
And I think that's what you saw more of when the market started declining. People were starting to move stuff, maybe losing on a deal, but taking those funds and reinvesting in something they thought it had a future to it.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, when you look at a deal, right, what's the buy-in? Like, we go back to a LeBron card that I got from years ago. If somebody bought a card, I picked up a card years ago, their buy-in may be low. So losing on a deal may be a number that you're comparing to another number today, but their buy-in was low, so they're actually winning on the deal. So it just all depends.
Yeah, it's all numbers.
We're thinking the same too. Wonderful. What is wonderful thinking? Only Mike 100%. Back and forth. TJ, thoughts on CSG for grading?
No, yeah, they're on the come up. Who just bought them? Somebody just bought them, I thought, and are partnering with them to get out more cards and expand. But look that up, FD.
Collectibles, right?
Yeah, something crazy just happened where
Collectibles bought them.
They got bought out.
Yeah, Certified Collectibles Group owns them. But CSG, to me, has been doing a great job of planting the seed in people's minds about more expensive cards being in their slabs.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So you see it all the time. They just talked about the Jordan that sold for $9,300, the Willie Mays on their Instagram that sold for $6,900, the 1953 tops. They're talking about more and more cards. There's a UFC card here that is Gold Shimmer from Leon Edwards, who just won a big match last weekend. It's in their slabs. They're doing a pretty good job on social media of letting you know that more expensive cards are in their slabs. They even letting you see the 2021 Panini Prism rookie signatures with Cade Cunningham. So they're showing you vintage, modern, and everything in between in their slab. And I've said for a while, if you want people to start grading with you and grading different cars, show them other cars, and then start showing them what they sell for in the marketplace when somebody else is buying it.
Yeah. Turnaround time, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's crazy quick, but yeah, I may look into it. But I know they're on the rise too, and CGC for their TCG submissions, they're awesome. So they're owned by the same people. So if they're awesome, then I'm assuming they are too.
Yeah, they have changed. I would hopefully think Beckett is trying to follow this. They've changed their slab design, and they've gone hard on educating people on what their product is. The slab, if you hold it, feels different in your hand because we saw it first at the Mint in Vegas in March. It feels different in your hand. It's crystal clear. So the card just it bounces light. It looks great. They're setting the blueprint on kind of how to change the brand around and educate the market on the benefits of their slabs. Do you guys rip wax or just buy what you want? I kind of buy what I want, raw or graded.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah, I think rip and wax is it's just not for me. Let me just say that. Just not my deal.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. You're talking about high probability on a low return. That's the high probability. You can just about guess. Too wonderful. Also, nothing against breakers, but you asked me what I do. So too wonderful. Money Mike. I work 2 full-time jobs and just flip low-value raw cars online a few hours a night. Plus, I ain't married.
And buried. And dead.
Too wonderful. I love you. I love you. The way you put words together, man. Beautiful. So much for freedom. Optic rated rookie better than Prism nowadays.
I mean, I think Prism is losing a lot of value due to horrible quality control from Panini. If you want, I think Select, you should really, really look at Select. I'm telling you. Optic.
Do you think the horrible quality control on Prism is intentional?
I think it is a little bit because, if you go into like these big breakers that get all this stuff from Panini, they never have issues like this. It's always the little guy. Always little guy. I mean, Optic, the new Optic just came out, right? Panini just put it on their Instagram. If you go look at those prices, if you haven't looked at them, I mean, it's literally the price of a used car.
Oh, let me check this out. This basketball?
Yeah, Optic basketball. I mean, the price that people were saying, and I was like, what is going on? Because you know what Panini's doing, before Fanatics comes in, they're trying to get all the money they can and really,
Yeah, I can see that.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So a hobby box is almost $900. Am I reading?
Yeah. You couldn't pay me to pay that much money for a modern box.
864, 850. It's interesting. I wonder who's buying Optic. FTJ. People keep saying JD. This is TJ. What are your thoughts on eBay purchasing TCG for more than 260 million? Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball, Magic cards on the rise.
I'm telling you right now, Dragon Ball Z is on the rise. I'm telling you right now, oh man, I could go on one of my guys that I coach. I coached him up to help him prep up for a Dragon Ball. He's actually becoming a pretty big streamer on Whatnot, and he did his first ever Dragon Ball Z stream. He had people like a small guy flooding his stream for these modern cards. Dragon Ball Z. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was selling slabs, singles, full booster boxes. Like, it was crazy. So
I guess
it's definitely on the rise.
I got to do more research on Dragon Ball Z. I'm looking.
Yeah, you do. The cards are absolutely insane. The artwork has such great quality control. It's not made by Panini and all these other idiots. So you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, cards look nice.
Yeah,
I got a home.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Pokemon's always going to be on the rise. Pokemon has more money in it than sports cards right now, especially if you're getting Charizards and anything that was made from the 1995 Japanese and English all the way up to 2013 in the black and white era. That is where you really need to focus your time and attention on those cards.
Hey, Money Mike, let's make sure your family does not see this comment right here. Too wonderful. I wish I was single and had no kids. I would have $1 million sports card collection. Let's hope not. Too bad TJ is Tuesday night, not Sunday night.
My bad, TJ. Oh, yeah.
What's Sunday night?
I have no clue.
TJ, thoughts on MetaZoo?
Yeah, don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it was they tried to compete with Pokemon and they got absolutely hammered.
Are they still releasing, putting out product?
Yeah, but it's nowhere near where it used to be. So,
what about this? Christopher King says Fortnite are on the rise too. Sales on eBay.
You can get their booster boxes for pretty cheap, and their hollows and their foils are worth a lot of money, especially in PSA and SGC. There are so many ways to make money, in trading cards and cards in general. If this isn't showing you, you guys really need to work harder. That's all I'm going to say, because there are so many opportunities to be somebody in terms of not just like a social media star or like doing a show like this, but you can change your financial future with the right strategy.
You can, most definitely. So much for freedom says, think Anthony Edwards will take over the NBA in a couple of years, or will
Luka.
Yeah, I don't know if
he already has.
He can over the NBA. I don't know about that. I don't know if LaMelo Ball's taking over the NBA.
Nah.
I don't think so. Hero 3, no way money. My kids are too fun. However, I do have a gold star. Umbreon. Am I saying that correct? Umbreon?
Yes, sure.
I need to get it graded, but I don't know who to send it to.
It's a card like that you want to send to PSA.
Why do you get that recommendation?
Because gold stars are some of the rarest cards ever made and printed. They hold the most value, and they were extremely limited. And there's not many. There's extremely low pop. There was only a certain set of them made because that was in the Wizard of the Coast final boxes. before they switched to Nintendo. Then Nintendo switched, obviously, the Pokemon Company. So, yeah.
Good info. TJ has it. Too wonderful. MetaZoo, MetaBoo. They can't compete with Nintendo.
There you go. You're right.
TJ, you know I appreciate you being on here, sir.
I know. I appreciate it too. I love coming on. We you saw in the comments, people want us to do a podcast together. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that.
It's wild to me. It's wild to me. There's facts though. That'd be fun.
I think it would be fun. TJ is going to be on more and more and more. I think it will be fun. Yeah. Like I said, at some point we're going to be somewhere together. If the first opportunity is the National in Chicago, we're going to try to make that work.
Yeah, I will be there next year for sure.
I think it's going to be at that point in the hobby, what's going on in the evolution of what this dip is, it will be very interesting. Yeah. What is happening around that time. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Yep. I talked to several people who went to the National in Atlantic City. Some of those people have told me, a good percentage, that if the National is ever in Atlantic City again, they're not going.
Yeah, it's a horrible venue. I mean, trash. It's really tragic down there.
So I think they're probably fielding that information and going to do something with it. Too Wonderful says, have a podcast so I can roast the Golden State Warriors. Hey, Too Wonderful. I love it. Because all year we're going to talk about this. I always tell people, right? Do you embrace greatness or do you hate on it?
Usually people hate on it.
People hate on it. I like to embrace. Because it's hard to find. You don't see a lot of it. It's a lot of people that's talking greatness and doing something else. So Too Wonderful now. Now I have you mentally. I'm ready to talk about this every podcast. I want you on here now. Because when the season starts, then we're going to start talking about it. You can't say, oh, well, that team did this and that team did that, and that's why they lost. We're going to talk about basketball now. All right, one of our last comments here. It was nice to meet you, TJ. I'm going to go check out your channel, as you should. After this, what's the play?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So what to expect on there, I help you grow your brand and also show you how to start a profitable kind of sports card side hustle, but also do a bunch of top 5 videos, but also just give you experiences and glimpses into my journey too. I've been at FD. I just started reposting your show on my channel to give it an extra.
I saw that today. I appreciate that. I saw that today.
And so making sure that video, I think, has almost like 1,000 some views already. So hopefully we can get keep getting some good stuff on here. So I appreciate everybody as usual. I love coming on. And thank you guys so much for the support as well. Hitting 4,000 subscribers, I never would have thought that I'd even be able to get to that number in such a short period of time. But I really appreciate everyone's support, and I appreciate you supporting me at D, and I'm glad that we can do these for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. I remember when I first found your channel, we were excited here to get in contact with you, and that's when we had you on for the Super Bowl. And I'm happy now that we're doing more lives together and talking about different stuff. And I always tell people too, it's not like we have the same ideas on everything, but it's good to have a conversation to go through stuff. And we're approaching 3,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I know. I'm very excited.
Thank you. G and I, the whole family, we're all very humbled by that because I can remember when we had 50 subscribers.
Yep. And I wish I would have took a picture when I first had, my first subscriber in the journey and everything that I've been through to get to 4,000. And obviously, this is the grind of being laid up on eBay, making content, scheduling out content, posting 3-4 times a day.
Yep.
Right. It's a lot, but in the end, it's worth it when you look back and see, how many wonderful people you meet, how many people you connect with, just in your community, but also in collaborations like this. So it's very, very humbling.
I'll tell you this, we were talking the other day, we switched up like our strategy of how often we're posting on Instagram and what we're putting up. And Instagram is almost about to catch YouTube.
Oh, I know. Yeah, my Instagram, had four reels that got 100,000 views.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm like, what the heck? Never would have thought. But I mean, it's crazy. Like, you never know. One piece of content could change your whole life. That's why, when I do have to talk to myself, when I do want to kind of not post for a while, because I'm like, you know what? Like, this next video could change my life, but also it could change somebody else's life. So that's why, I keep on going and putting out this stuff every, 2-3 times a week.
I tell everyone the story of, we went into Burbank to sell a LeBron card to buy a Steph Curry rookie card. And we almost didn't put that even on YouTube. It was something that I was passionate about doing, right? I wanted to do it. I get off work a little early on a Friday. I go straight to Burbank. And the night before, we're talking here, and I was just going to go do that. And my girlfriend asked me, well, you going to take G with you? I'm like, what am I taking G for? I'm just trying to knock this out. And she was like, well, I think we should probably record this. And we recorded it. So now I think about things like, we should probably be recording this, because you just never know. You may put something up that you think is not that good, or you don't really put a lot of thought into it, and it reaches people, comes to people a certain way. Even the power of a thumbnail can reach more people than another thumbnail you may have done. So each part of the process is very important to overall success or failure or whatever's in between. But if you learn from it, it'll help you out in the long run. Just look at it, learn from it. Be critical of yourself, and then also have tough skin if someone is critical of you.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to Nerdy Girl Comics about this last night.
Oh, yeah, I was on. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, and she was a joy. She was a joy to have on. We'll have on again. But just talking through about if you're trying to be creative, TJ is trying to be creative. I'm trying to be creative. And then we're talking about something that we have a passion about. And if people write a comment or does something to like really come at you, take that, keep it moving.
Oh, yeah.
That's always the thing. I think when we first started, we would be like, TJ, we would be looking at each other like, why did that person write that? Why would they say that? And then after a while, you just start thinking like, I'm trying to get something done. I take all feedback, all criticism, and then we proceed forward. After you're the best in the world at what you do. Dexter, I appreciate you, man. Like I said before, I'll say this till the cows come home. It was a young kid sitting in this room, walked in the living room and asked my father to get a Jose Canseco autograph. And then things started rolling. That's just how that started. Just walked in the living room and say, hey, I've been looking up, because I was always about doing research even back then. I've been looking up autograph prices. I think I can get these cheaper myself. You like Jose Canseco? And he was like, yeah. So I was 13, 14 years old. Why don't we go get an autograph? He was like, well, why don't we do it in person? And that's how it all started. Yeah. That's what we do.
That's great.
TJ, we got to talk about after Burbank, having you back on to talk about the overall experience, what's been going on. You let me know what when your schedule is free, and then we will we'll jump back on and see what's up. I always appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. I'm glad we could get some quality time on here tonight. 2 hours, 30 minutes, which is awesome. Yeah. And I will let you know next week, and then we can see what we got cooking. So I'm excited to hear what happens. I'm sure there's going to be some drama. So there's going to be some.
Hey, I say this: we're going to take the same approach we took last year at the National, but we're going to thoroughly walk around the show, talk to people, and capture the show. We're going to put some work in. Like, this is not going to be where we just walk by. Probably the same kind of work we put into Delmar. Like, we went to Delmar months ago, and we tried to thoroughly cover that show. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to be at each trade night, seeing what's going on. I hope I can turn. This is my hope before we walk in, that I can meet gems walking around and people and talk to them and build relationships, and then move these cards that I talked to you about and come back with something that's Steph Curry related.
I'm ready.
We'll see, bro. TJ, I appreciate you, my man.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks, y'all. And then we'll.
Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all as well. Thanks for all the comments. It's a joy to get on. This is our third live this week, and I could do more with this kind of community and people that are here. So I appreciate you all. I'll talk to you soon.